All right, start over. So last episode, the group spent some time speaking to Oscar Ackner, the Avi's wizard, in the head of the magic shop, where they talked about the shard stones sticking out of Cal. You learned more about how the head of the militia and the head of the city is gone. He rode strangely to the east, and he has been unheard of for quite some time. And you still have your Knoll prisoner, hidden captive, who you are paying a small amount of money to have fed, dealt with. You traveled to the Knoll Den because you wanted to clear out the den after speaking to the people that you found in the graveyard. And as you did so, you came across an oracle and her dead brother. And as she was trying to perform the last rites for her dead brother, she was attacked by these undead creatures known as the Returned. With their strange golden masks. And what Alrinde told everyone in the group was because they did not want to stand before Bodoma. So they escaped into this new, strange threat. Digital Prophet, thanks for continuing the sub. Appreciate it, man. Eventually, you made your way to the Knoll Den, where upon entering the den, you had to fight a couple of the Knolls. And you found the remains of one of the Imperial Dragoons from Vropia to the north. And we're going to pick up right after that battle had happened. So you have not rested yet. You still have whatever damage that you sustained. You're still out of your spells. But let's pick up in the den.
Can I start off with, we're not in combat anymore, right?
No, this is right after combat.
All right. Well, Ook was gonna bend down and kind of search the body for some kind of signalement. Like, do they have like dog tags? Like,
let me make sure the frame looks good. All right. So the body before you, this ripped up, torn apart remnants of this Imperial Dragoon. Searching through the body. Oop, I just went over and I covered you guys' faces for a second. There was trying to find it. I thought I'd give you guys a handout of it. Let me see if I can find it again. But there was the insignia that you did find last game. It does have the brown boar on the front, the same as the shield that you did find, and you did find some coin. If you didn't pocket the coin, it was 15 silver pieces.
oh, from this guy?
From the last game, yeah. So you should have...
I didn't pick it up. I didn't
okay.
loot the body.
So you'd find the 15 silver pieces all in this dead Imperial Dragoon, and then you would found his shield. And on the shield is the insignia of the Vropia boar.
But no identifying who he is.
No.
All right. Well, in that case, Ook was gonna try to right the body as best as she could.
Here it is.
Yes.
Those are under the journal handouts. You guys should be able to see.
And then she's gonna cross his arms if he has any left. Whatever he has left. And then she's gonna lay the shield like on top of him.
Make a medicine check.
Oh, I'm gonna rip off his arm. Ooh, what is this? Do I just hit?
Hit normal.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's because of the roll thing.
Ooh.
So with a 5.
Sorry, buddy. I was trying to be respectful.
Roak, are you proficient in medicine? Or would you like to make a medicine check too?
I am. Let me do that.
Oh, sweet. Wait, don't tell me he's still alive.
Oh, that one. Double
I am
one.
not.
Oh. No, he's not alive.
I would say, like, does the arm come off?
So I'll give you a, because Roak is proficient in medicine, you watch as Ukachku tries to cross what she believes are the two arms that are remaining from this like vicious. I mean, this guy's been getting gnawed on by gnolls for a couple hours now. So you see her take what looks to be a forearm, and then she takes the bottom part of the thigh and crosses the thigh across the other way. She looks very, very somber when she does it.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna say anything? Or am I right?
Roak would just kind of like nod solemnly and just let her do her thing.
It's the thought that counts.
All right, but after I do that, I'm going to walk quietly out of the room to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Roak follows because she can't see without it.
I'll walk into the darkness. It's more edgy that way.
Coming out, Alrendi, Cal, Roach, Varric, and Cal's Golem, Cyril are all in this large cavernous hallway. Just to give you guys a refresher, because it's been a little while. This cavern, there's a couple of tunnels that lead to the east, one to the north, one to the south. The only light source in this room is the torch for you here. Cal does have a torch lit right now, which is providing light for Roak and Ukachku. Looking above, there's some bats that are sitting on the top of this cavern that haven't really been disturbed even when you were fighting. And then Roach, you can still see a little bit of trickles of blood leading from the southeastern cavern, which is your own blood, which was from the trap that you sprang that caught you inside there. But now that you guys are all caught up, what you gonna do?
Any injuries in the other room?
I'm a bit beat up, but I think I'll make it. I think we should continue and dispose of these rats.
Agreed.
Is it necessary for the light source? Do you think that perhaps the others can link hands so that we can remain stealthy a little bit more?
If you'd prefer, I can relight it when we get into combat so they can see. Then I'll muster the torch for now.
Are you okay with that, Ook?
Perhaps. Yeah, might as well.
She will hold out her hand to Ook, just as the torch is being snuffed out.
Okay.
Like a little child about to cross the street with her mother.
I mean,
Come, little monkey,
they know?
let's go.
There's
Who's
two
holding my
ahead
hand,
of
though?
us. Left
Yeah,
Wait, how
have
tall are you, anyways?
Me? I'm like
Yeah.
5'8", 5'9".
Okay.
won't they know we're here anyways? I mean, we did make a lot of commotion.
Yeah, but it's best they don't know which direction we're coming from ahead of time.
Very insightful, I agree.
Let's take a vote, left or right. I choose left.
Can I, Arundi would like to close her eyes and try to sense any, Amadoon tethering in any direction. With my tether sense.
Sure. So you
While she's
close.
doing that, Kyle's gonna walk over here and listen for footsteps.
Okay. So Alrendi, you close your eyes and you listen, or you try to sense the tether around you, trying to feel into the bond. You feel alone in the cavern.
And Roach, which way did you come in? Did you by chance find the way to where the rest of them are located?
I only made it down this hallway before I had to retreat.
With a 13 Cal, you hear down the southeastern corridor. Sounds like a slight dripping of water. into some sort of like pool. Drip, drip, drip. Besides the occasional drip, and noticing the moisture that runs along the walls. No sound really jumps out, no footsteps, no hyenas, no gnoll laughter.
I don't hear any
Well-
footsteps, so they're most likely anticipating us. Be ready for a trap at any given time.
They think they're ready for us. Let's do it.
Yeah, stealth
I can't lead the way because I'm blind, so never mind.
Ah, yeah, you're behind me.
I'll just hold Ren's hand.
Cyril will lead the way.
All right.
And Kyle will follow behind.
Beautiful.
You guys do not feel very stealthy as you're moving through the
Yep.
cavern.
Ooh.
Are we all rolling stealth?
I feel like
That's
it's not
what you
that
guys
big of a
wanted, I
deal,
thought.
but it's
Might as well if we have no
might
light.
as well. Yeah. And do we want to go left or right?
You pick.
Mm,
We can.
I
there
say we
was
go left first, and then we return.
You seem to have a sense for murdering things, so we will follow your lead.
Is it actually like a head on a stick?
No, it's like a totem that's been fashioned into
Okay.
a torch.
Well, I just noticed it.
That does look creepy. Look at that.
You'll see some weird stuff when you zoom in if you go a certain direction.
So
Go down the left
yeah,
path.
we're gonna be in the
Cyril
back.
and Roach, I guess, will lead the way, and with Cal.
So you want Cyril to go first, or you want Roach to go first?
Cyril will go first, no
Gotcha.
matter what.
Cool.
And he'll walk ahead like 5 feet or so.
So as Cyril walks forward, unfortunately triggers a trap. Similar to the one that
Figured so.
Roach went into. Yeah.
Freak. So give me a dex saving throw on Cyril.
Did Varric want to be in front of Brendy since she has the nose sight behind
Ooh.
her?
Ouch. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So Cyril steps into the darkness here, and as he steps up, similar to the same trap that you saw earlier, Roach, this spear comes shooting out of the wall and smashes into the side of the golem for 11 piercing damage.
Damn.
beautiful.
Oh. Ouch.
Is
Leaves,
he dead?
leaves this huge hole in the side of the golem. He looks pretty rough from that.
I explained this to Ook.
Cyril's gonna cast False Life real quick.
We must be more vigilant. Does your golem have eyes?
Well,
He
perhaps
does.
if these halls are trapped, we should just light a torch. That way we can hopefully see them before we
Well-
trigger them.
I think. Can the golem see it? See in the dark? I mean, everyone else seems to be all
I
right.
believe, yeah, he does have dark vision.
Are we not checking for traps?
Yeah, we can check for traps. We can
I
roll
feel like
perception.
the first trap with Roach's incident should have been a trigger, no pun intended.
Okay, so 5 to 3 hit points. And I'm gonna go ahead and cast Life Link.
Okay.
For 1d6. Okay, I'll give Cyril 2 life points.
Got it?
I
Out
will.
of my temporary hit points. Okay. And I'm gonna roll perception as well.
Okay.
I'm going to go in front of Cyril and search for traps as well.
Yeah, I'll let him pass.
I would like to keep like a perception of sorts for behind us in case there's any sound.
And would I be doing perception or investigation for looking directly for traps?
For looking for traps, investigation.
I can roll one for you real quick.
It's a good roll.
Yes.
So as you're healing your golem, Roach, you move past quietly, looking into this room. With your rolls, This room doesn't appear to be trapped. What you do see is more remnants of humanoid bodies scattered across it, dried blood stains in the northern and in the center of the room. This blood looks to be older than what you saw with the Imperial Dragoon, and these humanoid figures are not as large. They don't look like warriors. They look maybe to be farmers or peasants or merchants. But their bodies are just ripped apart and strewn about this cavern. Nothing else jumps out at you.
I guess we go onward.
Yep.
So Roach, as you go down these
Be careful.
not very well fashioned stairs, they're a little slippery. As you're moved into this area, the moisture is getting a little bit heavier, and it's
I
not
can
slick
see
to the
shit.
touch, but oh yeah, her screen is just pure black.
I can't see a damned
Where's
thing.
your hand? Hold my hand, Roic.
Roic went in front of you.
Okay. All right, you're gonna have to drag my token along, so I'm gonna like start going through the walls and shit.
Yeah, same with Roak. You can't do shit.
Ahead of you, Roach. Down the cavern, more bones litter this area, some of which are still bloody. A dagger lies on the ground on the stairs in front of you. The dagger has a very ornate sheath, which looks to be made of some sort of orangish or like goldish color. Not sure what exactly the material is, but it lies in front of you. And then up ahead, you can hear just slight movement with your passive perception.
Alright, I'm going to call the fox to come forward.
Who's the
Oh, come
racist now?
I've always called him the
Oh, he's still referring to people as exclusively the race.
That's true.
Yeah. What do you think about that dagger? I'll point at the
It'd
woman.
be nice to have. It might be useful. Does it, hold on.
It
Do I have
seems strange that it would just be lying in the middle of the floor.
True. Forget the... Alright, never mind. I'm gonna listen in the room here.
Okay.
See if I can hear anything.
Very, very faintly, past Cyril, down the stairs in front of you to the south, you can hear like just a faint breath.
I'll whisper so that only the group can hear. That I hear something down. Was it here? Down here?
Yep.
Okay. I'll point in that direction. For the people I can see. Get ready for a fight.
Alright,
Where's the dagger at?
Okay.
Kyle's gonna get a torch ready to light with his offhand.
Okay. Get the torch out.
Same
Hold
with
it.
Roak.
The
Roak's
second we
also
see
the same.
enemies, he's gonna light up.
Alright.
Ook should be next to Roak. I assume everyone's linking. Well, not everyone.
And then I'll relay the
Where-
news to them that there's enemies. around.
Where's the dagger at?
It's on this.
Like,
It's on the step right in front of you guys. Right, the second one.
Does it look?
I take out
trapped?
my shield.
Doesn't look trapped. No.
What is it? What are we waiting for?
I'm going to ask the elf if she can sense anything magical from it.
There's a dagger everyone is perplexed about.
It doesn't appear magical with your tether sense.
Jesus.
Yes.
Quickly kick it!
Is this the new
Roak-
chair? This is the Critical Role chair.
Yes. Don't
Roak
drop the
is
dagger.
What, drawing our weapons for a dagger?
It does appear so.
I'm gonna.
Just pick it up.
I
Where is it?
push it.
Start reaching out for it.
No,
Can't
no.
see anything.
With my with my scimitar.
We're going to move forward once.
Cal steps over the dagger. Dead? Looks like dagger.
And he's dead.
I'll pick it up.
You picked up a dagger with a very ornate looking sheath.
It's so dumb.
Watch it be fucking another sticky handle.
It's a mimic.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
Let's continue on.
I stabbed myself.
Yeah, right.
That's all it needed was blood. Now you've awoken it.
Roach, from your vantage point and your stealth, you somehow evaded this gnoll's perception, but you can see the feet of a gnoll right there. You can also hear breathing from behind this cavern here.
That's where I am. If you guys want to move closer to it.
So, can I hear any more in there?
Besides the ones you can see slightly on the left and then the breathing on the right, nothing else really jumps out at you from here. You do see that in front of you, the stairs here, now that you've kind of moved up some, the amount of bones on the floor is going to make it difficult to traverse without crunching.
Guess I'll back up and try and say, I hear two in there. And
Shall
once we move closer, they will hear us.
how about we draw them towards us so that when they come into view, we can immediately attack. I can make a sensory effect with the prestidigitation.
And I can cast a minor illusion.
You
We
can't
want
see
them
anything.
to think they outnumber whoever does it. Otherwise, they'll retreat further in.
Ook, you are more familiar with gnolls. How can we attract them towards us?
You want me to show you how to attract them.
All right, lead with the knowledge that I have about gnolls. Will
It's not a very stealthy way.
Will they try and gain advantage by numbers, or will they actually just come in and attack?
I can create an odor with prestidigitation to make it sound, or make it smell like, probably like rusty, like blood, like iron, and that might attract them. Assuming everything. Well, I mean, like, fucking gnolls, that's like dull
I am
blood, not
bleeding
like
a
this
little bit.
blood.
So
Like
I
been
think
shark attack,
stabbed. Twice.
Shark week.
gnolls are your favorite enemy, right? As your hunter? Okay. It depends on the gnoll. If they're younger gnolls are just kind of like unintelligent brutes, if they hear something in their lair, they'll just advance and attack unless their numbers get depleted pretty heavily. If they're some of like the shamanistic gnolls or like some of the leadership gnolls, they're much more inclined to pull back for like advantage or escape.
Alright.
I mean, if there's one closer, I think they're trying to just ambush the person that goes up first. So if you make a sound, or somebody makes a sound there, they might try to walk forward and attack.
It's also reasonable to think they could be a scout, the forward scout in the cave, and they could just run and alert them.
Whoever has a spell, I'd recommend preparing it then. I can use Cyril as bait. That body isn't actually where his consciousness is stored, so he doesn't care if it's lost. And we
Is
can
that Noel just sitting over there listening to all our plans?
Probably.
You
Well, I assume we're whispering very quietly, and we're also not.
So Roach moved. Okay, so from your vantage point now, very silently you hear, and then you hear like a yelp, and then the gnoll that was here steps forward, and he looks like he's holding some sort of a ranged weapon. It's hard to tell which, but it looks like he's pulling something back like a bow, and he shoots to the west, and he moves across your line of sight. And then you hear, and then his squeal is just like cut short.
Was
I
that
think-
us?
No, that was a bigger thing. Something else is here.
There's always a bigger fish.
Shut the fuck up.
Hmm.
I believe your golem is to be bait, Cal.
Yeah.
I prepare frostbite. Oh wait, is that a...
So remember, a golem, if he dies, he rolls death saves, and then if he's all the way gone, it takes a long rest to.
He's not dead. I can just resummon.
He's gotta
him
resummon him.
But
But if he goes to 0, he gets 3 death saves.
I'm gonna tell Cyril to charge forward, and then tell me what's over there.
Alright.
I prepare firebolt in case I
He's
see an
gonna
enemy.
just rush forward with his body. I'm gonna have to move up a little bit so you can
You got
go
it.
further as well. And he's gonna
Golem
charge
is
from this
rushing
cave
forward.
over here.
So
And before his physical body is destroyed, he will tell me what is our foe.
So Cyril, you rush into this cavern. More old blood and bones litter this area. And the floors here are very slick with moisture. Cavern opens to his west with more doors that lead, or more stairs that lead deeper into this cave. This cavern is empty. And then from what he can see, his vantage point right now to the west is also empty. And then Ook and Roak, you just hear doo 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 as Cyril rushes forward.
Stairway is clear. Let's move up a little bit. Nothing's in the room right now. I'll say in like a soft whisper. So
We are good to move forward. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Cyril's gonna move forward a little bit more. So take a peek into that stairway.
Cavern continues
Follow closely
deeper and
Roach.
deeper into this darker. Roach, it's a little cold in here. Temperature's definitely dropped just a little bit. Since you're in the front.
Cyril's gonna go block off the stairway if everyone wants to investigate this room.
I'll move this way.
I'll stand guard.
No sound.
Doda,
Or not no sound, no seeing.
doda, doda.
Perception.
You see, Roach, you would see this, Cow would see it, and then Cyril would. What's this? Cyril would not see this, but there are deep indents in the ground where it looks like some very large creatures were like drug with beyond their without their will, and you can see claw marks like they're being pulled and they're trying to stop themselves from being dragged somewhere. And it goes
So they-
it goes this way up to the stairs.
Would I be able to find any tracks from the thing dragging them?
No tracks stand out.
I want to cast Prestidigitation and create a small puff of light, like a little bit like a sparkler, over the claw marks on the ground, so that Roak and Ook can look at them for a second.
You should see a little bit of light on your guys' screen now. Just for a second.
Yeah, it's very
By
brief.
Cyril?
Yeah, it's by Cyril. And then it's gone.
I mean, was that enough time to see if I knew what it was?
Is it safe to assume there'd be null scratch marks?
The claws look gnoll-like, and it looks like they were pulled, but the way that the gnolls were drugged, whatever was pulling them was almost like whatever markings would have been there have been covered up by the gnolls' bodies.
So during Ook's time serving in the army, did she ever see the gnolls traveling with larger creatures?
They'll travel with large hyena-like creatures like themselves, not as intelligent, but four-legged. Basically like dire hyenas that they use as mounts. but nothing that would do anything like this, because those are usually very well trained beasts. You guys also know that you're in Ulkadia, which is a place that's only been recently inhabited by humans in the scope. So they've only had this empire for maybe 20-30 years. So there's still a lot of very large mythical beasts that roam this area that need to be disposed of. It's not uncommon to see a roaming cyclops or Pegasus just kind of flying through the air, or a band of centaur.
Perhaps our services are not needed to cleanse this cave. Looks like
I'm gonna
something's already
check for
doing it.
traps. If I can see into that room as well. I think I can, yeah.
Looking around, Varric, you find a little bit of a broken claw that was stuck into the ground from the gnoll that was trying to prevent itself from being dragged away. But no traps stick out.
Okay. Do I hear
Cal-
anything?
Oh,
It's quiet, except for that slight dripping sound to the west.
It's the water. It killed them all.
So a question for you guys, just as a group, is having this like dynamic lighting, does it make dungeon crawls scarier? Because you can't really see what's going around the
I
corner.
love it.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I
We're
can't
having
see
this
shit.
again.
Oh yeah.
Do for a second.
I'm gonna pat Roach and Varric. Cyril's gonna advance again by 20 feet
You got it.
to the next room.
Now, this is the one game where nobody has like a tiny familiar pet to send ahead to scout.
I know, yeah.
We just have a big one now.
Yet.
Cyril,
Cyril's
moving
gonna push
deeper
up
into
again.
this cave,
Avon.
towards the stairs to your west. They, instead of descending, they ascend. And when they ascend, you can see now little bits of foliage, little bits of mold that are growing on the walls here. And as you came a little closer, it's that dripping sound is now a very slight rushing water sound, like an underground river or pond.
Cyril's gonna advance up towards the stairs.
Move up. Ook. Roak. Alright, so Cyril moves in. The ceilings here for Cyril are 30 feet high, and the walls are covered with what looks to be some sort of blackish mold and mildew. A large, stagnant pool dominates the center chamber here, and a heavy, thick algae grows on its surface. Cyril's vantage point, he can sort of make out to his northeast a staircase that goes, there's a little pond that he has to go to. Up just a bit to show you. There's a little bit of water to his east, but there's also a stairs that go up. And then to his southwest is another stairs that descends downward.
I'm gonna have Cyril block off the stairway, and then the rest of us can come in here and look around in the water.
I cast prestidigitation and make another few sparks in that area for Ook and Roy.
You guys up just a bit. And then I'm gonna quick spark of the area.
How deep is this pool?
It's hard to tell at first glance because the algae over top of it is so thick.
Stinks. Very musty.
Fortunately, everyone's passive is very low. I need all of you
Oh.
to roll initiative as soon as I put you guys on.
No, it's a
Great.
sea monster.
I was gonna ask. Shit. Damn.
I'm rather close to that water. Oh,
You're
dear.
gonna die.
23.
It's a
Wait,
juvenile black dragon, like last time.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, please.
It's a juvenile black
I'm
dragon.
a-
Fucking goddamn
are
it.
you,
I wasted my natural 20 on initiative.
Oh yeah, look at that 4.
All right. So-
You don't even know what we're fighting yet.
So before you
My
guys go,
internet cut out. Shit.
oh, are you good? Your face is
Yeah.
closed?
Rainy.
There you go.
Stop
There we
lagging.
go.
This isn't the time for that.
Can't do anything about that.
All right. So what you guys see? Pop these all up first.
He's wearing his hat. I didn't even notice. You guys are matching.
The
Yeah.
whole time. You didn't notice? The whole time.
Which one's the DM?
I am the DM now. Look at me.
I am the DM now. All right, there it is. So as you guys are walking in and looking at this algae-filled water, this large carnivorous flytrap plant-like creature erupts from the center of the pool. It's about 10 feet wide. It sits up almost 20 feet tall as its vine sticks its way out and its head snaps at you. Reaching out of the water around you, the smaller... Oh, we lost somebody. Oh, he's coming back. I'll wait for him.
Interesting. Sorry.
You're good.
What have you done, Dragon?
So this...
I am Varric now.
The big thing is
No,
in the
we're
center, and then these 5 little versions of the big thing are all exploding out of the water. So this is a surprise round. So goes just to the plant. Cal, the plant next to you, is going to try to constrict
dear.
you.
Ooh. Yikes.
I was trying to say that I rolled my inspiration instead of my initiative,
Oh, I gotcha.
but my internet kept cutting out.
So Cal, you are grappled, and you take 5 points of damage.
Alright.
To try to escape, you have to do a DC 12, athletics or acrobatics, your choice, on your turn. And until you
Okay.
escape, you are unable to breathe.
Oh dear.
This vine is going to move forward and it's going to attempt to grab onto Roach.
Miss.
Because Cal's already grabbed, this vine's going to go over Cal and it's going to attempt to grab onto Varric. $13. I think you froze again.
Yeah.
13 misses Varric. This vine slithers up and it's going to try to grab onto Roach. Ooh, 18.
Hit.
So you're grappled, restrained, unable to breathe, and you take 5 points of damage. Who's there?
Alright, I'm back, I think. Sorry.
So that is the Discipula plant's turn. Top of the round is Alrendi.
Awesome. So I'm guessing the whole place is still really dark for Ook and Roak.
Yeah, they're blinded.
Yeah, so I'm going to, as my action, I do have my shield out from last time with the dagger incident, but with my action, I would like to cast Firebolt at the big behemoth.
You got it?
So hopefully they could see a little bit from that.
And hit the push the attack button too, because the so you might have been gone when I talked about it, but
Nothing's no, I remember, nothing's popping up for me.
you
I
don't,
click it and nothing happens.
you don't see Fireball AI.
No, it's like, actually, it says I clicked it 3 times.
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
Gotcha. Then just push attack. 20 hits, so you're shooting at the big guy?
Yes, please.
All right, 20 hits. And then hit damage above it too, and it'll roll damage for you.
Yay.
7 fire. So, very briefly, Roak and Ook, you can see the scene. As the
I'll stick
firebolt
my hand
shoots
up
by.
and it would come out of my hand.
So you see these 5 small plant-like creatures. Cal's restrained and Roach is restrained, which means the creature is like wrapped around them. And then you see the larger one in the back, and the larger one, the firebolt smashes into the larger one, and as it smashes into it, the light that you guys can see go away. But he takes 7 points of damage.
Okay, I would like to move a little bit then. Nowhere, actually. Can I don't have a sense of how deep the water is, right? Because of all the algae and stuff.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, unless you're like to move across some of the algae. From looking where the creatures are kind of moving around, it looks somewhat deep.
Okay, can I forcibly change spots with Roak as a bonus action?
No.
Dang. Then I guess I'll quickly tell like Roak that it's his 11 o'clock when he can remember when I shot the firebolt, and that'll be my turn.
Okay.
It's just disadvantage.
So the plant. On the plant's turn, the 2 guys that are automatically restrained, are still restrained, take damage. So, Cal, 4 points of damage. Roach, 4 points of damage. The vine that's on the left here is going to attempt to grab onto Cyril. 12 to hit Cyril. I think it's a miss. This vine moves up, it's going to attempt to grab onto Alrendi. That's a now 1. And then the one that's in front of Varric's going to attempt to grab onto Varric. Oh, 22.
Yeah. Got me.
So
Wait, do I need to do a DC or?
on your turn, you have to scrape. So you take 5 points of damage. You're currently grappled. And until this grapple ends, you are restrained. And now the big boy. So Varric, Cal, and Roach are all restrained. The big guy is going to use Reel. He pulls all 3 of you directly towards him.
I'm behind a rock wall.
It's 25 feet, so you just get like ragdolled and swung around. And all 3 of you are pulled into the range of this large thing, and now you're in the water, in this algae water. And these are the ones that are grappling. Roak, you're blind.
Can I use a bonus action to light a torch?
Yeah.
Then I do that.
She's like, yes.
Oh. No. I was gonna say, can I do a bonus? Not a bonus. Reaction when I get hit for the festering grasp.
From the little guy when he grabbed you?
Yeah.
Good,
but
yeah.
It's probably. Yeah. All right. I'll do it next time then.
So Roak, you light the torch. You see the carnage in front of you.
My God! He's gonna go ahead and loose a Eldritch Blast at the vine holding Roach.
Got it. Seven misses.
Can I use my inspiration?
Yeah, you want to roll again? Go for it.
I do.
A 16 hits. Give me that damage roll. Eight's enough. So you
Do we get the agonizing, or do we not need the agonizing for that?
It's on there. The +3.
I see that. Cool.
So your Eldritch Blast goes off and it shoots through the water, and as it does, it misses. but for some reason it curves back around. It smashes into the vine holding Roach, killing the vine and freeing Roach from its grasp. You can move if you want to, or you can stay there.
That's my turn, I think. Right?
All right. Goes to Varric. You are restrained. If you want to try to break out
Alright,
athletics or acrobatics.
Acrobatics. All right.
Gotta be 12. You're free.
Hell yeah. And that's probably my turn, right?
So these, it doesn't count as an action to do it. So that was at the beginning of your turn. So you still have movement, action, and bonus action. Because it's a
Movement,
level.
action, and bonus.
Yeah, you got
action?
your full turn.
Oh, okay.
This is a level 2 boss, so it's not as punishing.
I'll do Lord of Flies on the big guy.
Okay.
Tech.
13
and then
just hits.
hell yeah.
6 damage, got it. And then con save.
Ah, damn.
So he's not infected by the flies, but he takes 6 points of poison damage.
All right. I'll do healing word as a bonus action as well
You got it.
on Roach. Yeah. Oh, error on my macro. Ah. All right. Healing word. There you go. 5.
Roach heals for 5.
That will be my turn.
Goes to Roach. Is that a short sword attack?
Oh my.
A 9 and an 8 both miss.
Yeah.
You say you're gonna stay there?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, Cal's gonna use Roar of Resilience. And that's gonna be everyone at 30 feet. Heals.
You are restrained. You can't move. Can't do anything to you. Break your grapple.
Oh, okay. Here, let me do a. I'm gonna do an acrobatics with let's see, my inspiration.
You got it?
Oh, probably should have rolled 2.
Oh, with
Sorry.
inspiration you got it. Okay. So you're free.
So I burn my inspiration, and then I will roar resilience. So that's everyone in their area heals 30. Since I already put it out, I'm not gonna put out again. So it means I'm going to 8. And then at the Sepula vine directly in front of me.
Is it a temporary?
No, it's just straight heal
Okay.
for 30. Everyone in 30 feet. So everyone pretty much gets healed for 30. And then at the one directly in front of me that's that grappled me earlier. Another shard shot.
3 or 30?
3. Oh god, 30 already? That'd be insane.
That's what I heard.
Well, that misses. Okay. And I guess that would be my turn, since that's all I can really do.
Alright, so you break free the bonds, and as you break free, you just let out this roar. Everyone around you gets healed for 3 points or 3 healing. And then you try to shard shot, and as you shard shot, it skims into the water and misses.
Alright, and that would be my turn.
Goes to Ook. Trix.
I hate caves.
Trix tossing out advantage for Sable. Roak has advantage. What's up, Trix?
So describing this creature again, those are little discipula plants, or they're just vines from the big one?
There are little vines that come out of the big one, and then they have the mouths. So like all the vines,
like the big one,
yeah,
but they're smaller heads.
all the
Okay.
vines are connected to the big one.
Did anybody actually attack the little ones yet? That I saw?
Yeah, Roat killed one.
Did the big thing seem to react to it? Like he got hurt too?
No, it just died, and it kind of got exploded in the water and slipped into the water. But you didn't see the big guy react at all.
Well, she's gonna go over here and bonus action rage.
Got the very best internet in the middle
And-
of nowhere.
Roach is standing in the water.
Roach, Varric, and Kyle are all in the water.
How deep is it?
They're swimming. They're floating in the water.
So they're not touching.
Right.
It's very deep. Okay. And if I attack the big guy, it's probably going to be at disadvantage because it's kind of dark still for me.
No, you can see him.
Fuck it. She's going to run and jump at the big plant with her rage and use Great Axe.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't use them anymore.
So you can't be in this space, but you can be like right there.
Yeah, that's fine. I gotta figure out where this stuff is.
For your great axe attack, go to inventory
Oh, there we go.
and then hit attack.
Yeah, I got it.
Normal. 7 misses.
The dice have deemed we die this night.
Fuck it. Use advantage. Can I do that?
You want to roll again? If you want to burn your advantage.
What? Yep. Great. Awesome.
Damn.
Okay.
Just
Well, I'm just gonna go face first and dive into the water, I guess. fine.
as a side note, I don't think it's marking your proficiency for your great axe.
Do you have it equipped and proficient?
It's D20 plus 3.
She does not have it. I
It
got
does
it.
say not proficient.
Yeah, I added it. So that'd been extra +2, so 9 and 8 would both missed. So if you go to your items, just to make sure you know you see it right, and you go to details, under weapon status, you want to make sure you have proficient and equip.
Oh, I had it. I don't know what happened. Like everything is just not working right now.
No,
so-
I just turned it on for you as well. Top of the round is Alrindy. Yeet.
I'm trying to like pair up the sound stream with the stream so that it doesn't sound weird when I play a sound too early. It's actually on time, but it was like really laggy. So I need to figure that out more. I am going to. Ah, shit.
Yeet.
Oh yeah, no, okay. I'm gonna move here. I'm not moving. Can't move. I like cannot move my token.
Are you trying to move through a wall? You have to
No.
move around.
Oh yeah, you can.
I'm trying to move to the left. It won't let me move anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to move you.
I can't move either.
Is it? I don't
Can you-
know the
Can you
issue.
delete your token and then put it back in?
Well, I can't move any token right now.
Is it
Oh.
is Foundry bugging?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well.
I can't move mine either.
Oh, there you
Oh.
go. It's moving.
Oh,
there we
are.
Ah. Okay. Well, I did want to go there. So, hopefully. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna cast Word of Radiance as a bonus action, and it would affect the vine to my left, top left, and then bottom right.
Okay.
Saving throw of a number
All right. So bottom right
12.
and top left. So top left passed, bottom right failed. Give me a damage. 4 is enough to kill the one at your bottom right as it explodes in radiant damage, killing it. The one on your top left, though, kind of moves in between the algae, taking nothing.
Okay. Totally fine. And I think that's just gonna be my turn, like that.
Okay. This giant plant is going to roll 1d4 to see who he's going to try to swallow. Okachukawoo!
Would it not
God,
hurt?
I know, thank you.
18.
Yeah, that hits.
So this plant reaching out of the water just swallows Ook. Ook, in his mouth, you are blinded and restrained.
Oh, yeah, okay. I fucking hate this game.
At the start of each of your turns, you'll take acid damage. So you're in there.
Make it throw up.
Do I get resistance to that when I'm in rage? Or is that just
No, because it's acid.
not yet?
And then these two little vines. The one on the right of Cal is going to try to grab him. 18. So it grabs you again, 7 points of damage, and you are now you're restrained again. And then Varric is going to try to grab you. 18 to grab.
Yeah.
And 4 points of damage.
Ouch.
So you are both restrained. And now it's Roak's turn.
All right,
Well,
things are looking.
I'm gonna
goofy,
reaction.
y'all.
You want to
Okay, yeah, no. Varric gets a reaction.
Go ahead.
I didn't do it. I have to make a melee attack. So that's D20. I think, right? Just a D20?
D20 plus your proficiency plus your dex.
Just 2 and then proficiency 2. Alright.
15 hits.
And he must make a constitution saving throw or become poisoned for a minute.
Okay. That's fail. Alright, he's poisoned.
Alright.
Got it. So you watch as Varric makes these bulbous protrusions on his skin burst and like pus, and it gets onto the creature as it wraps around him, poisoning the creature. Yeah, Roak's up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna cast Hex on the big bad.
You got it.
And let's make that a Constitution debuff.
Nice.
And then, jeez. I guess we're gonna loose Eldritch Blast at that big guy.
Eldritch Blast. You got it.
I'm clicking it, but it's not going, so it might go twice.
That's okay. Yeah, this update for Foundry's been a little wonky the past couple days.
Let me try to close and reopen my character sheet. Yeah, I can't do it. Could you try for me?
Not rare.
There we go. See the Hex? If you scroll up a bit, you'll see the Eldritch Blast too.
I see it there. Cool. It's giving me a no when I click the attack, so I'll try again. It's just being a bit slow, it looks like.
Yeah, I think all these modules I have, or because they had the update, they're like having a hard time. It's my guesstimation. I got you at a 9. You see that?
I do. We'll just go with that for now.
You want to keep the 9? Or do you want to... Okay. A 9 misses.
Unfortunate. It looks like that's my turn.
Varric, you are restrained.
I'll try to break you out.
Oh yeah, easy break. Take that icon off you.
I'll cure wounds myself.
That's a good heal.
Yeah, it is.
Boom.
I can't do that. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can do, really.
Okay. Well, you broke out of the vines, then you heal yourself, and those bulbous protrusions along your body close up a bit. Goes to Roach.
I'd be able to get over here, right?
Good, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go there. I'm going to attack the one that's on Cal right now.
You got it?
Am I at disadvantage for being in the water?
No. Because you're above it, swinging above it.
Alright.
$14 hits.
Alright,
5 points of damage. You slice the vine on Cal, freeing Cal.
Alright, and I'm going to
Two
slice
vines.
at the other one as well.
There you go. Offhand attack on the second one. Miss.
Fuck it, let's try it. I'm gonna use Hive Mind to add a +5.
13 hits.
Yes.
Go Ganthy racial. And he's gone.
Nice.
So main hand, you slice the one off Cal, freeing Cal, and then with your offhand, you spin around and you cut the one next to Varric sticking out of the water. All that's left is this giant, the head plant that has swallowed Ook, and Cal's up, looking pretty rough.
Alright, that's 7 temporary hit points.
Okay.
And that'll be his turn for now.
You got it. So Ook inside the mouth you take. That's pretty bad rolls. 7 points of acid damage. And you're still blinded, restricted, can't do nothing. Alrindi.
Okay, let's see. That's true. Sorry, I don't know if you heard Sable. He was wondering about Cyril's turn.
Oh, Cyril goes on Cal's turn as his bonus action. If he wants to use it.
Oh, okay.
Because he's not high enough level yet to make it go as a Metalmancer by itself.
Okay, how does it work with casting cantrips and spells in the same turn?
One of your spells, if you cast 2 spells, one has to be a cantrip. And the second spell can be any level you want it to.
Okay, so can I do a bonus action as a level 1 spell?
Hmm?
Actually, no man. That yeah. Are you hurt really bad, Ook? Or not like that bad?
You can't target her while she's swallowed.
At all? Even if I know where she is? Oh. Well, shit. Well. Could I... Yeah, I'll just attack the big guy then. I'll do another firebolt.
Okay. I think it's speeding up a bit now. Whoa, crit!
Natural 20.
Critical.
Okay.
So when you hit damage kit, yeah, you got it. 7 damage, got it. With the firebolt.
Nice rolls.
Ook is still swallowed, but you see the plant, like he burps a bit.
God damn it. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess that will be my turn.
the Discipula plant. Going to use his action to spawn 2 vines. That's his turn. Roak.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. You going at the big guy? 22 hits.
Oh, yeah.
Nine points of damage.
Do I roll another d6?
Yeah, give me that hex damage. And Ook, make a acrobatics check. Extra 3, got it.
Cool, that's my turn.
So he launches you as he spits you out, as he like barfs onto the ground, and you land in a 3-point stance, not prone. And you were free. Varric. Just projectile vomited Ook out.
I'm just gonna scimitar. The big guy.
Big guy, you got it. A 12 just hits. Tricks tossing out inspiration to Ook. She said, "Thank God." 6 points slashing damage. With that slice across the bottom jaw of this plant, it's starting to look pretty rough from that, and it sways a bit in the water. And as it sways a bit, you see the 2 smaller plants also mimic its sway.
That'll be it.
Okay. Roach.
I'll lay some attacks on the main guy.
24 hits. 21 hits. 2 damage rolls. 4 on the first. 11. Just barely. It's still up there, still staying alive, but it's barely hanging on right now. Goes to Cow.
I was gonna fire a shard shot into the enemy.
Ten misses.
I'm gonna use my Mercy Bedoma to reroll that attack roll.
You got it?
I roll.
What's up, Dan? 13 hits. Give me damage. Are you on a? You had a 1?
Oh yeah, I said 1.
I'll give you the 9.
Okay.
So Cow, from point blank range, as you go to fire the shard shot, you can feel Bedoma's mercy come over you. How would you like to do this?
I'm gonna snap it right at the stem, shoot it off, and then his head just plops off from where its base is.
So you see the head of this thing just fall into the water. This loud splash in the water, and the algae gets thrown up. And as it does, the 2 other floating vine-like tendrils also just collapse in the water, and the body falls and sinks. And now the 6 of you are left in this cave alone.
All right, let's just establish I'm not doing that again. So I'm keeping a torch lit.
I'm so sorry. Are you all right?
I think so.
I'll press meditation and get all the stomach
Good thing
acid
I was
out of her.
very
off of her.
hairy.
Feel this rush of wind and all the acid gets blown off you, Ook. You see her little chin hair go.
Now that we're down here and we can see, are there signs that the gnolls were dragged down this way?
I'm gonna remove
Like
this
those
wall.
plants ate them?
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Cal quick.
Looking around, there doesn't seem to be any remnants of the gnolls in this area. There doesn't seem to be any old shoot apart bones, any blood. It's almost like everything in this vicinity of the plant is just engulfed.
Thank
Oh
you, Rush.
yeah.
Can we
That was a
search for any
rough
like samples of the plant?
Yeah, the plant's pretty large, so if you just dive into the water a bit, it's easy to harvest some samples.
Roak will go and start gathering some samples of the plant.
Yeah, is there anything in particular you want to take, or you just want to like grab what you can?
Sections of like the maw as well as like the stem.
Okay.
The maw is the mouth, the jaw. Yeah, it's like a piranha plant. It has a maw. I want the teeth.
So you
You
see
can't hear my responses.
Roak dives into the water, and you see him pull. He just bubbles down a bit, and then you see him come up holding part of the jaw, part of the stem in his hand.
Do you eat that?
Below
Why
water,
do you need
is
that?
anything?
It's valuable to someone.
What'd you say, Roach?
I'm gonna dive below the water and see if there's anything else down
I
there.
appreciate that you wouldn't let it go to waste.
There's a bit more of it if you wanted to keep going.
Can I take a handful of the algae and just smell it? Is it just really musty and?
It's very musty, very moldy smell. And
Ugh.
roaches, you're swimming around in
No.
the water. This looks like a very
I
stagnant
don't think
pool.
that would make a good tea.
There doesn't seem to be any source of water that like pours into this place. And besides the large floating plant and some of the smaller tendrils, it seems nothing of notice.
Service.
Is everyone all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm fine now. That was a rough battle.
I'm sorry I could not do more.
Well,
Where does the
I didn't
path
do
lead
much.
to the top? You were swallowed, Ook. I think
I disagree. You did quite a lot.
guess I can be a distraction.
There's a northeast
Nothing for
passage.
a warrior like Ook.
There's a southwest passage.
Does anyone know where the north passage goes to?
I believe it connects to the top cave where we were before, judging by the fact that the stairway leads up.
Then we could have encountered this fight quite a bit sooner, it would seem.
Well, no worry. Now, I guess. It's gone.
Roak, are you particularly good at looking underwater?
Am I?
I'm asking because he's a frog.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it.
Might be a toad.
I'm swimming, but can I breathe underwater?
I'm thinking about your eyesight.
Yeah, do I have unobstructed vision? Yeah. Yes, I can.
Well, he doesn't have dark vision, so he can't see unless there's light. But
No, I can't.
assuming you left your torch on land when you dove in.
Never mind.
Well, I'm gonna get up out of the water and move to the entrance of that and stealth again.
You got it.
Do we want to continue on or retreat? I should be good to continue
Should
on
we-
for a while.
Should we take a short rest?
For Mr. Eldritch Blast?
Roach feels stealthy.
For Mr. Hex, okay?
Do I get my rage back on a short rest, or does it have to be a long rest?
I can't remember. Let me look. I think it's a short rest.
I don't feel so sneaky.
Long rest.
Damn it! Fucking wasted both of them.
Well,
I did. They were
if y'all wanna
completely
retreat
wasted.
outside the cave for some rest, I can lay some traps at the entrance so they can't leave.
How long have we been in this cave?
20 minutes.
Oh my god, guys.
So to give you
I know.
what happened-
I'm pretty beat up already.
to help you
I have
guys
one spell slot.
to help you guys out, there's no more monsters in here, and there's only one more room. Just so you don't leave and then come back in 8 hours.
I was gonna suggest
Right.
scouting ahead anyway, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
Just
gotta
to
send
help you.
somebody.
So Roach, as you
Zero
come
will
around the
follow.
It's
Corner.
for the dying, it's fine.
I run forward and stab him in the throat.
you see a
No.
coming around the corner. You see what looks to be the remains of a very well intact body of a Imperial Dragoon. It looks like he ran into this corridor and he hid to try to escape whatever his fate was, and he laid against the cavern walls and he bled out from his injuries. Next to him is his large sack. Now, I think it's the first time we've done this in our new games. If you double click on the chest, I believe it should open when I give you permission. Just know that when you open your treasure, if you claim it, it'll automatically be sent to your inventory. So just make sure that the person that you want to have it is the one that takes it.
All right.
But I think everyone should be able to look at it now.
Try to move closer.
Loves of missile snaring.
And there should be some coin too.
Just makes my screen
His
black
large
whenever
sack.
I get in there.
Was that funny? This Imperial
I was
Dragon
thinking
has
of ball
huge
sack
balls.
myself.
I'm such a child.
No, I was thinking the same thing. It's totally Bruce's fault.
His giant left ball is hanging out of his.
Who gets hit by ranged attacks the most? I guess we wouldn't know because we're level 2.
Well, I'm a bit of a meat bag. I take
Yeah,
hits
our
quite a lot.
tank-
I give that to
tank-
Ook.
Our tank should take anything that's good.
This guy's body is intact enough to take back to town for a full burial.
So
We should do that.
for some reason the double click feature is not.
Does
working
this
for me
guy
yet so
have
far,
any-
So
Identifying tags on him?
You can't open the chest.
I can't open chest or shopkeepers.
Hmm.
That's weird.
It's currently black for me as well.
Okay.
Whenever I just
Mine,
You have to-
refreshed
no,
after
you
a little
have
bit.
to- You just have to click when you're.
Oh
uh,
yeah, you're right.
done
That
with it.
fixed it.
You got it?
All right, someone take those gloves. I'll carry this guy. Or actually,
Wear 'em,
Cyril will
Ook.
carry this guy on his back.
Okay. And
We
there's
need to grab some gnolls for the cultists as well, so they can get their friends back.
you see
we
in
just need the blood, right?
when you open
the
the
blood.
chest, you see that the 100 gold that's in there too. It's just a currency at the top there. And if you want, I can hit split 5 ways and it'll automatically, or split 6 ways. It should give everyone gold. Or someone can just pocket the 100 gold. However you guys want to divvy up your stuff.
Let's do it 6 ways.
I think splitting would be nice.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
So Cyril will carry the body of the dragoon.
Okay.
We need to get like a vial of the monster blood from the gnolls on the way out for the cultists, so we please everybody in this transaction.
Yeah, I've got a water skin. Could I fill that with some no blood from a body?
Yeah, if you want to.
It's like it's a forever like no blood skin. Then it's not a water skin anymore.
They just need blood.
And
You're never gonna get like blood null taint out of it.
if you want to give the gloves to Ook, just hit the diamond. And it should
That
automatically.
puts it in your inventory.
Yeah. And then and go to your inventory, hit equip, and turn on attunement, and it'll show up too.
I'll also give Roach 5 gold for the future training of Cyril, just as of the moment.
I'm going to refuse it and say we'll talk later.
Very well. It looks like this is the entire cave if you want to treat back to town.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
Alright.
So let me do this. Boom. So you've collected your first item as a group, made it through this dungeon crawl.
Oh wow.
Now-
14 guys.
So stepping out of the dungeon, since you were only in the dungeon for maybe 30 minutes from looting the body, carrying out the dragoon, and then now walking out of the Greybone cave, excuse me, you know you're about a day and a half walk back to the small hamlet of Breus. You are inside the Woods of Old now. So you are in the Woods of Old. And you remember that when Roach came to you guys the first time, you're a couple hours walk into this woods. Looking up at the sky, your vantage point here, because you have a ranger in your party, you'd put it late afternoon, mid to late afternoon. So if you wanted to, you could leave the Woods of Old if you want to spend the entire time walking and then make camp in the plains by getting towards the Breus, or you can make camp in the woods for the night.
Before you decide.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, just saying you can also press forward if you want to walk through the night.
I'm concerned that maybe this isn't actually the Knoll hideout because we saw one Knoll and 2 dragoons in plains.
We saw like
So-
5 gnolls there.
Did we? Well, I mean, I guess we did fight Knolls in like the beginning of it though, but
We also killed one in a trap.
okay.
And then
Would
they also
6
died.
gnolls
from the
justify
flames.
a camp? No, like a roach.
Would I know that?
It could be a little warband, a small scouting party, or there could be a bigger presence if you think there might be.
And can Ook look at the body of the dragoon soldier and kind of do like a nature check to see how long he's been dead for?
Make a medicine check.
It's curious to me though because the heart of their cave is another monster, so they
Oh,
must have been there
Jesus.
long.
Somebody else, how long has he been dead for?
He's dead.
Relax.
He's dead.
Dead.
That's a dead guy.
I can tell he's dead.
Dead as hell.
But it's if you're living somewhere, you either get rid of it entirely, or you just move in and you don't have enough time to get rid of the other infestation. And they were buried deep into the cave. It would seem the vine monsters. So is this a new establishment?
Gnolls generally are not found this far south.
It's been dead for about 2
Makes
days.
sense.
Perhaps they were just a scouting party that were looking for a temporary home.
Yeah, because when did the cultists say they saw these guys camped out? Like weeks ago?
Who
I'm not telling
knows?
you.
Let me see. Hold on.
I ain't telling you nothing.
You could also,
A few
you
weeks
could also
to a
assume that
few days at the very least. Seems like a scouting party.
they did
Perhaps the
say they
gnolls are
only
trying to
saw-
expand?
They did only see like a few of them. They didn't see a lot.
They said they saw 10-ish.
Thought they said
we
they
did
saw, like,
kill several on the road in our
6.
first
We
encounter.
killed 4 on the road and then 6 here, so... Or, well,
Yeah.
5, but then the 6th one was killed by the, vine
plot twist. They
monster.
can't even count.
I believe 2 of them were killed by that monster.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, I
Two.
think we're
Who
good.
knows how many that thing actually ate of them as well.
I think we're pretty safe. At the very least, we took out a scouting camp. I'm happy with that, at least.
There we go.
Regardless.
I didn't
this is
write down about when the Knolls arrived.
all the more important to get to Veropia and tell the captain there what we found.
We have some blood,
Wait a
and we
minute.
have a body of a dragoon we want to turn into the guards so he can receive a proper burial.
I have a
Let's head that
question.
way.
For the party. So, why did Aspas tell us to go find the Knolls?
For the blood.
Goddamn ass bass.
For what reason? Oh, because they were going to kill the creature, and that would have been the tiger. Got it. Okay. So, what is it? Aspas told us that after 5 years, their friends would come back stronger. So in the span of 5 years, he knew about the Knolls. But it could be like 1 month, 1 week, 1 year, 2 years, whatever. But he was returning his friends, so that doesn't help much.
We'll see if it works out for them. We won't know until we get to the city. Let's rest for tonight, at the very least.
I don't think my character sheet's linked. Because I didn't get the gold.
So many
Okay.
problems for you, Z.
Give yourself 20 gold.
I mean, it didn't say Roach received any gold. in
Okay.
chat.
And then he definitely didn't get it.
Fuck the
He doesn't
cockroach.
deserve it.
If it was
Even
like
Foundry
16 gold,
believes
I'll get
that.
like 16 silver. I mean, 7 silver and 16 gold.
Yeah,
I thought it was 20 gold.
So it did. So it was 100, and it gave you guys 25 ways instead of counting 6. But it's okay. Give yourself 20.
It was 120.
It was
gold.
120 gold.
It's 120 gold.
We just had to count it out again.
Why didn't work for you?
We can worry about this after too. So
So you begin to make camp, and this is the first time you've been around this cave with it starting to become dusk as you guys are making camp. As you guys start to make camp, Varric,
Yes.
you, because you're a druid, you are able to read stuff like druidic script, and you can sense certain things about your environment and nature that other people can't sense. And as you guys are preparing your camp, you notice as the sun sets that the moss and the lichen on a lot of the trees in this part of the old wood are growing in a very strange way, almost like a very particular pattern. And
I'm
looking
so sick of trees growing so badly, man.
roughly 1 in every 10 trees around you bears this type of druidic scripture on one side.
Can I do an arcana check to recognize? Or a religion check?
Try. If
Okay.
well, this is if Varric points it out to you.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's up to you. Do you want to point it out to him? And if you do, you have to get closer to the tree to really try to make sense of it.
I'm just gonna walk over there and try to read it.
So you guys watch Varric walk up to this tree, and he like looks at it, kind of funny. And all of you have pretty good intelligence to know that you can see that the trees, the one he's looking at, has this weird type of lichen moss structure. But you guys don't see the script that he sees. And Varric, you notice that on the front side of the tree facing you, there's this long script. And then on the back, there's 4 words. And this is what you see. And if you ever want to look at this again, it's under the journals now. But you see that the script reads on the front, River of Bronze, oldest oak, run to the sea, shed your leaves. Born of your ash and your smoke, woods of old, lilies and thieves. Read ye the warden's law, reap ye 2 counts from bronze. 1 shall be gifted to women and men, 1 shall be saved for the axe. Summon the red cedar stare, middlest knuckle past 9. Counting the dying verse fire, 10 of the tail of the sign. Tax on twin lilies in bloom, toes of 2 riders in some. 1 for each night of the moon, 1 for each beat of its drum. And on the back of the tree it says, very large, nature reclaims everything eventually.
I'll write that down and then I'll show the group it.
Okay. So showing the group, you guys can't understand the scripture because it's like a special druidic scripture. But he reads it off to you so that you see what he sees.
That is what you see on that tree there.
That's right.
Did you inhale
Why?
too many fumes from the cave? Does anybody else see that? What does it mean?
No.
You're not a druid.
No, I'm not.
You
Oh,
wouldn't
your
get it.
camera's frozen.
oh, it's fixed.
Ah.
Yeah, that happens.
You wrote from what was on the back of the tree? The nature reclaims everything
yes.
eventually?
Yep.
Can I do a religion check to know that that's probably real or maybe not?
Sure. Make a religion check. And if anyone's proficient in religion and wants to join you,
I don't think I am.
20 is good. 60
I
is not
disagree
bad.
with that. Those are true words.
19.
Everyone's fucking religious today.
With the 20, 16, and 19, with the 16 and 19, it could be ethereal. That sounds very ethereal-ish to say. The 20, the back of it may be ethereal, but the front of it is not ethereal.
Are you sharing your speculations with the group, or just
I am.
noting it to yourself?
Oh, shared with everybody. This is a group discussion.
I don't mean to fault you, Roak, but where did you learn about the precious deities of Almadou?
In the great Antherian libraries, of course.
Oh, how were you allowed in?
Stealthily.
Okay, so it wasn't
Legitimate? No.
okay, so it's probably, maybe no one can fault you for not necessarily knowing. It's quite all right.
I do appreciate your blunt honesty.
I'm a blue frog. I don't think I'm permitted in most places, so I take to my own means to get the information I desire.
The best policy is asking first.
I disagree. I believe privacy is the best policy.
This is why you're not allowed into most places, probably. Just asking. Maybe not. I'm not a frog, so. Okay.
Roak, give me a pure intelligence roll. This might
Goes insane.
go for you. You might be able to pick up on this. I think Roach maybe too. Roach, give me a pure intelligence roll too. I think the two of you might see this with your backstory. It's pretty good. Okay. I'm going to whisper Roak.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm whispering you. You'll see it in Foundry if I do it right.
We might all see it either.
There you go.
Where can I
Okay,
find
cool.
this entry in the in Foundry? The druid stuff?
Go to the journal entry. It's like the open book. And I think I have to turn it on for you. Let me try. Wink.
Yep.
Bruce, that was about the front or the back?
The front. I think you guys can see the script now.
Yep.
Okay. We'll put it in story handouts.
Varric, would you mind reading the script one more time? I have it open.
I'll
You don't have
repeat
to.
it.
I'm doing that for
Yeah.
like roleplay.
Yeah. I'll be like, I'll repeat it.
River of Bronze. Oldest oak. I'm just kidding. Read ye the Warden's Law.
Do I know of a god that is... Never mind, hold on.
Actually, Roki might know more than I just told you. Well, let me ask you this. Do you want to tell them or do you want to keep it to yourself? See if you want to keep it to yourself.
I'll share it.
Okay.
It appears that the scripture is written in some manner of thieves' cant.
That makes sense. Why we won't? Why we don't understand it? So they're encrypting it.
Can you decipher it, Roak?
So with a 17 row, I can pick up on one part of this. And you know when thieves can't, they measure time with their left hand. They start time at 6 p.m. and each finger counts as 20 minutes. So each knuckle counts as 20 minutes. So 6:20, 6:40, 7, and so on. And he says the middle knuckle past 9. So he's saying 9:30ish, 9:40ish. So it's like a time at night.
So summon the red cedar stare at 9:30, counting the dying verse fair, with 10 on the tail of the sign.
Huh.
Stair. I can't notice it, but stair is like a staircase stair.
I'd assume it's something else.
As you guys are looking at the wording, the sun starts to set and you guys have a nice campfire prepared.
So we just set up like a camp around the scripture.
Yeah, it's on a lot of the
little
trees
riddle.
all around you.
Why though? Somebody didn't want the message to be missed, but if it's so obvious, it's like they're screaming for help or attention.
It wasn't that. It wasn't here before, right? Like when we came over here.
Now, when you came during the day, it's gone, or you didn't see anything like it.
Okay. So
You
it's
said
like
it
night.
was written in like the moss and fungal growth on the trees?
Yep.
Does Roek, does this have anything to do with the Setzel people that you talk about sometimes?
Not to my knowledge. It appears though that Varric seems to be more versed in this than I.
Not Thieves' sadly.
Why is it written in Druidic script though?
If it's something you don't want somebody else to do, double code it.
Yep. Just
So neither Druid nor Thieves alone can decipher such a thing?
You'd have to be both.
Druid
Do we know
rogues.
any
Whoa.
Druid thieves?
I don't.
So as you guys ponder this and settle down for a long rest, give yourself back your health and your spells, and let's do a quick little 2-minute break. Refresh the drinks.
All right.
We'll be right back, chat. We'll see you soon. Be right back. Yay. Since everyone gets back, we'll get this going.
Yee.
You.
Oh, that's his headphones blocking it.
What?
I think that's raining scam. I was wondering. What
Oh, it's like his ear.
Yeah.
Genius. Da 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 da. Is everybody having a nice Saturday night?
Now that I can see things.
Oh yeah, half the dungeon without seeing nothing.
This is the last time. Hey, it's your eyeballs.
Yeah! One is pink and one is blue.
Your true sight. Your all sight.
Ah, the spookies.
Shaboopy.
Now you're gonna have to get actual tattoos like that.
No, they're so bad.
All tattoos would suck. That'd be so painful.
All tattoos?
You're like, bam.
All of our spells are just like, ooh.
Pew, pew.
You're gonna have to get like gloves, like fingerless gloves, and then have that like little print on it, so you can just wear them.
She's already tattooed. Like, she's gonna have to get the tattoos done like every few years though, because your palm skin is rubbed off so much. Yeah, it's a real life fact.
There are no world problems.
Ah, but it's magical. It's like magical ink, I'm sure. Whatever.
I'm glad my character isn't the smartest character, so I don't have to do puzzles. I'm just gonna drink my bark tea while you guys try to figure out that riddle.
I was gonna make a comment.
my business.
It's like, Ook, why are you getting like algae tea? I thought you only drank bark tea. Like what?
Delicious bark tea.
I enjoy all things. I try many things.
I did find a magical tea set I'm going to give you later.
I've had many
Oh.
foul things.
Um,
Magical tea set? What?
Brew.
Yes.
What's that? What is that? Like we had like a jar or something that could just make mayonnaise randomly, magically? Is that something Magnus had?
Yeah, Magus had that thing. He always made ale though.
Yeah.
I think it was Grog that made mayonnaise in Critical Role Season 1.
God, I think so. Yeah.
And
Like
they-
an alchemist jug or something?
Yeah, alchemy jug. That's the one.
Oh, he just fucking eats it. That's right. He
Yeah.
just eats
He's
mayonnaise
like,
all the time.
Ugh. All right, I'm gonna jump back into it. We'll let him
I had
get
a
back to the
question.
can. Yeah.
Sorry. Last game, I know that I meditated to Bedoma, or towards the feeling of Bedoma while doing that chant for the dead. And I remember only vaguely that the feeling I got was absence or something.
Yeah, like you couldn't really feel the presence from it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So if you guys want to, we can either jump ahead, go to the next day, unless there's anything anyone wants to talk about around the campfire. The choice is yours.
I have some notes about the poem, but other than
Yes.
that,
Yeah, if you want to do it.
so out of character, like the Woods of Old obviously refers to the Woods of Old that we're in, but I'm feeling that these the references to the Bronze River have something to do with the Bronzeborn Mountains, which are to the north of our Woods of Old. Beyond that, I don't have many insights, but it's gonna probably be important that we keep coming back to this kind of eastern or western region of the area to kind of solve what's, I don't know, hidden within here. But there are also 2 mention of lilies, and I'm not too versed in the lore, but we should keep our eye out for a mention of lilies as well.
I gotta talk to Cal still.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, it's about time.
You guys are currently at a campfire just chatting. I went to the map to show you guys the Bronzeborn Mountains that Roak was talking about.
I would approach Cal and to talk about our deal that we would have.
Cool.
Roach. Ooh.
And it would pretty much be, I would like to, I will still settle on the agreement we had before where I would attempt to teach Cyril how to use, what one was it? The Dory Spear?
Martial weapons.
Yeah. But one day I will need his help in an engagement back in my home.
I see. How far away is your home?
Not on this plane.
Ah. Wow.
Are you guys by yourself, or are you guys just sitting at the fire with everyone talking?
I'd bring him a little further away.
Okay. Gotcha. So you guys like over here?
Well,
Yes.
I see. Another plane.
It's
Well, that's fine with me. As long as you have the means to travel.
I believe means is still available, but up until we get to that point, I will do my best to aid you in whatever endeavor you go along with. I have the same deal going with the Fox.
I see. So the only payment you require is our assistance in your little endeavor.
Yes.
That's fine with me. I'll make sure to arrange for this. Let me know when it's time to leave for this plane, and we'll be ready.
I believe we have quite some time.
Until then, do train him well. I believe he has a lot of potential.
Yep. And I guess before that, well, before training him for the night, I'm going to approach Ook.
Okay. She's by the campfire, next to Al, Rendy, and Rock and Berk. You guys walk back.
With that banner that you held out to the knoll before.
Yes. What about it?
I believe we neglected to tell you the name of the tribe it belongs to.
You know this? Who is
The
it?
knoll said Blackpaw.
Ook takes out that piece of banner and just kind of looks at it. But sear that name into her brain.
What is it? Black what?
Blackpaw.
And this is what the Knoll told you?
He didn't tell me. That was
This
when
is-
he didn't understand any of us understood him.
Pot? Like
Paul.
P-O-T?
P-A-W.
Paw.
Yep.
Paw.
P-A-W.
Would I know anything else about the Blackpaw? Like any...
Make history check, because you might. Just because it's your favorite enemy. Oh, holy
Nice.
shit, the critical. 21. Do you want me to whisper to you, or do you want me to tell you?
Whisper it to me.
Okay. I shall whisper you.
When he's talking to Ook, I'm going to head over to Varric if he doesn't look too busy.
I'm not.
Ook is just gonna look back to Roach. I thank you for telling me that. And then she kind of looks back down at the banner and she kind of like grasps it really hard and looks down to the ground. And she doesn't say anything else.
That was like really angsty.
You like that, Z?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just funny.
I'll let Elrendi and Bear talk quick, and then I'll talk to Ook some more.
No, you can keep going.
I need to think of how to word this.
No, what are you gonna say? Oh God.
Yeah, Elrendi.
Oh, yeah, are you, do you have a moment to talk, Varric?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I don't, would you like to go sit somewhere? I don't think there's necessarily space right there, just because someone's taking the dog out.
Okay.
We'll like go off a little ways away, kind of similar to how Cal and Roach went away a little bit.
Okay. Like if
Not
we just-
Roach.
Maybe the same time Kyle and Roach go away. Rennie and Varric
Yeah.
also go away. Okay.
Could you tell me a little bit more about your past life? I know it's a personal subject and I don't need to hear all of it. I'm more interested in the moments before death of, or not death of your past life, or the life you still live, and the moment you had met Bodoma.
All I remember is walking into a burning building, and then it crumbling down on me. I don't remember the encounter with Bodoma exactly, though.
Everyone talks to Bodoma when they die, though.
Yeah. She let me go. Like, come back. It wasn't any conversation.
How do you know it wasn't just a dream? That you were somebody else in a building that caught on fire? You know, like a heroic dream that some people have.
Because I actually felt it and lived it for many
Yeah.
years.
Where is the proof in that, though?
I mean, where's the proof that you're who you are?
Well, this is true. I do have a few 200 years of history in a hometown and birth parents. But I did not wake up one day believing in a dream where I fell off a building and suddenly my arm was broken.
Yeah. I don't know if what I remember is real or not, but it's what I have.
Have you tried talking to Bodoma?
I have not.
Do you worship any type of deity, particularly?
I tend to stay away from deities.
And yet you feel that you were spared?
I'm here, yeah.
Can I insight him to see if he's really just being this aloof or if he's hiding something?
Sure. Roll
He's not
a
hiding anything.
deception or... Okay. You just being aloof.
He's not hiding anything. Yep.
Oh shit.
You easily insight his aloofness.
Why haven't you tried to commune with anybody before?
I'm not one for religion.
Shall
But
we do
I
it
guess
together?
I could. If you wish.
Oh, I would love it.
Right.
I usually hold my little ritual transactions in between night and dawn. However, I will withhold such a thing until dawn, and then at which point I'll wake you if that is quite all right, and then we'll head off to not to disturb the others. And first, We will try to commune with Bedoma in some way. I do remember the ritual that was said by the other priestess in which her brother had died. But we can try that. And then afterwards, we can see if there's any Almadoon presence nearby, particularly that any stick to you, maybe.
Okay.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you, Varric. Saunter off.
Okay. You guys walk back over at the same time. Roach is walking up to Ook after talking to Cal.
Would I know the location or general area they usually stick around?
Sort of in the center, but they move a lot. Like their whole caravan moves. Morning mess.
Well, I guess I'll let Ook know that whatever her reason for having that null banner is, they are a large war band in the Desolation, and I think they're one of the stronger ones.
Oh yes, unfortunately, I know firsthand how large and strong they are.
Their leader is abnormally large.
Abnormally large, you say? Thanks for that vital piece of information. Like, what? In what way? Do you know this firsthand?
He's got a huge pinky.
They do that abnormally large, and then walk off. And if I do first watch, I'll do it, and then I'll attempt to train Zero.
Okay.
I would like second watch.
Okay. Give me a perception, Roach.
Roach, before you leave, how do you know that?
Are we talking about penis size? Like, I totally missed all of that.
Think what you did.
That's what we were all assuming.
I've been hunting
Yes.
moose and
It's
runaway bears since I got here.
It's a no walk around, just a huge bulge.
That's my target. That's who I need.
Yes.
Totally unnatural.
Going to chop it off with my great axe.
Evolution says no.
But
So
yes.
you've been hunting gnolls since you came to this area?
Well, when I'm in the Veropi area, I target gnolls, and when I go south, I target humans.
Do you know where their stronghold is?
The human stronghold?
Of the abnormally large?
I just know they're usually seen in tacked together pieces of machines. I doubt they've been tracked back to their stronghold yet, otherwise they probably would have been dealt with.
Ook, you would know a bit about that. You know that the Gnolls in Desolation, they craft these rideable machines that they travel very fast on the Desolation with. Very similar
The
to
Mad
Mad
Max
Max.
cars? Yeah.
Yes.
What's it powered by, if I can ask?
So we all need to get dragons and then destroy them all.
It's a good question. What is it powered by?
Magic.
You ain't gotta explain shit.
Hey, I'm proficient in land vehicles. Would I know? I could drive one.
Make an Arcana check with disadvantage.
An Arcana check?
Yeah.
Whew, all right.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Yeah.
You just know that
I
they
just
go
know how to
vroom
drive it.
vroom.
I know they do well in running over gnolls as well.
So Roaches, your watch is pretty uneventful wake up Alrindi to make her watch after her little trance escapade. Alrindi, give me a perception check.
Lovely,
Cyril will
okay.
also be awake
Okay.
throughout the night.
Probably would have been working with Cyril during my watch too and training.
Make Cyril do just a dexterity roll for me. Cyril had some pretty good jabs with that Dory spear. With whatever weapon you gave him, just practicing.
I'll let him use the Dory sphere. I just have it on my person whenever he wants to train.
He's making little practice stabs with it. Got a ways to go, but not too bad. I'm always sussing Dan's bulge. So Alrendi with the 15, your watch is pretty uneventful for the most part.
Cool. All my trances, whatever, meditations are always about like reaching further and further and further, trying to find a trail to hold on to that would lead me to something Almadoon-like. Because everything's Almadoon there, but still. Shut up, oak. Like an oak tree.
So you want to wake up Varric before everyone else wakes up? Is that your
Yes,
plan?
please.
Okay. So at the end of your watch, you walk over to Varric and you wake him up before the sun rises.
Where are we going now?
Christ.
Furries for Christ.
It's our new roaming church band.
Wait, that's their name now?
Furries for Christ.
That's so good.
You said this, okay? It's your fault. Yes, so I take the little furry with me to the woods. As we're walking, I kind of like, it's dawn. Wake up now. Okay, let's go, Barrick.
All right.
So Calro, Groach, and Ook, you hear her call out, and you guys slowly wake up. You see him walking away. So you lead him a little ways. What do you guys do?
You guys?
You two?
Like,
yeah.
So I'll just lead Varric into the tree line just a little bit. We're not going very far, so it'd probably be pretty easy to tell where we are. And then I would kneel down next to, not like next to a tree, but just like, really nice cozy spot. And I would say it's not customary to close your eyes, but a lot of people find that comfortable. I'm not sure where you are in your deity communication preferences or comfortability necessarily. Is there any place you'd like to start?
I don't know what we're doing, so.
Okay. So maybe you'd like to sit down and close your eyes as well and just. I'm not a priest, but how about concentrate on the feeling you had in between this new life and when you supposedly died.
Okay.
And I will repeat the words from that ritual that I heard quite a little bit ago, about like a body to burn, ashes to keep, a bed to soul, eternal sleep, a life to offer, a guide to meet. Some. And I would concentrate on the feeling of Bedoma, while also having like a strong authority sense of Almadoon. Like, I'm fucking from Almadoon, of course I belong here. If I don't feel anything right away, Elrendi's gonna put her hand on Varric's arm or shoulder.
I will start to try to commune.
this is gonna go nowhere.
Varric, you feel nothing from this. It's kind of weird for you. Nothing comes about. You see Alrendi chanting, and then you follow the chant, and it's almost like you want to believe, but for whatever reason in your past or from yourself, nothing really takes hold. Alrendi, you don't feel like a god is speaking to you, but you do feel a hatred inside of Varric. Like he doesn't want this, he hates this, he wants his old self back, he doesn't want any part of this. And
it feels like Varric, it feels like something other than like the deities above. It feels like mortal.
It feels like you can feel the presence, and Varric does not want the situation that has fallen upon him, and because he doesn't want it, he rejects it openly. Basically. Like you can tell he has this hatred inside of him, and it makes him not want to deal with any deity. Be that because he wants to be his old self again, he doesn't want this body, he doesn't like Bodomo. Whatever reason made him feel this way, he has this hatred inside for what he's become.
After feeling that for a little bit, Ren is going to open her eyes and grab Varric's other shoulder with her other hand. So she's grabbing both of his shoulders. So they're facing each other, kneeling, sitting. She stares at him and says, like, "What are you holding on to so badly? What is the problem with you? I'm trying to commune with Vidoma for your sake."
I don't want this body.
Clearly, I do feel that very strongly, but not that everything is about you, Varric.
I mean, you're trying to have me communicate with the god. Oh,
Yes.
my camera flipped.
But it's for both of our sakes. And you weren't even going into it to believe. It's like going into fail. Of course you're going to drown if you don't swim. This is a waste of a morning if you're gonna just do this to me. How rude.
I'm not trying to do this to you. Why did you want to do this anyways?
I
Can you
needed-
not talk to Podoma?
No. Well, I tried earlier and I was met with silence, and I was thinking it was because I had no special ties to Bodoma. I don't particularly, reach out to her very often. So I was hoping that, perhaps with your special connection to her, they, that Bodoma would like to do something more with my requests. And instead, I just get hit with a firewall.
I am sorry for that.
Are you?
I'm sorry that you can't talk to her, yeah?
Well, if you never... Perhaps one day, when you do want to know where you came from, and you do want to try to commune with a god, come talk to me about it, and I will wait for you.
Sounds like a plan.
Until then, enjoy being a Brusco.
It looks like he's being yelled at? Question mark. You guys saunter back over. What is so give me Varric's facial expression as you walk back.
I'm staying over there.
Okay.
Wait, what?
What's your facial expression when you walk back? Are you stoic? Are you pissed? Are you sad?
He's a little pissed, yeah.
Okay.
This little foxy.
So Varric walks back to the camp, visibly angered, disgruntled. Alrendi stays in the forest. As you're walking back, Varric, you notice that the trees and the druidic scripture on the trees is now fading away because the sun is rising. So now you're all awake at the campsite. It is another gorgeous Ulkadian spring day, as is normal in these parts. Whenever you guys want to depart, let me know. And if you want to keep talking, let me know.
I'm ready to go after I search for some delicious insects.
Okay.
Cal is ready to depart whenever the party is. Cyril will carry the body of the dragoon to town.
Thanks for hanging out, Trent. Get some good sleep in, dude. So you guys pack up your camp and you return to Abraeus. As you approach Abraeus, it is the same familiar small hamlet that you've grown used to. You walk past the farmers.
Ooh. My internet just crashed a little.
Okay. You walk past the farmers, the farmhouses, into the hamlet. You see the same guards with their bronze cuirasses, their shields, their door spears. People are starting to go about their days. You arrive not late afternoon, but a little around midday. The same Imperial Dragoon shoulder over Cyril's golem body, carrying it in. So what would you all like to do?
Well, how many days has it been since we said that we would meet Aspas? It was like, we told him we would meet him in 3 days. Has it been 2?
It's been 5.
Well, fuck. Should probably go meet him. Unless someone doesn't want to do that right now.
Is it midday when we get in there?
Yeah, it's about midday.
Well, I
Ook
guess.
is gonna try to
Yeah.
disperse from the party without drawing
Nope.
too much attention.
No.
Make it a stealth check with disadvantage.
Well, I'm gonna wait until they're doing something like speaking with Espargia.
Okay.
or
The gorilla?
something.
Where'd the gorilla go?
The big gorilla? Where'd the big gorilla go? Okay, so if you
I'm
want
not gonna like sneak away. I'm just gonna be like, I got some business to take care of. Y'all do your thing.
So if you want to find Aspasia, Roach could probably lead you to the house, or you could go to the graveyard or check the inn, or however you guys want to go about it. If that's what you want to do with the day, find Aspasia.
Well, I've got the blood for that, so I'll splinter off with whoever wants to go.
Okay,
Cyril
since
and,
they're
Cal will carry the body back to the guard's post.
Okay.
And explain to them what happened.
Ook is actually gonna follow Cal to the guards
Okay. So Ook and Cal
and
go
make
to
sure
the
that
guards.
that the dragoon guy gets buried properly.
Roax going. Where you going? With who?
If Roach doesn't come with us, then we would have to go to the graveyard.
I was going with Roak.
Okay, then
same.
yeah.
So 4 to find Aspasia and 2 to the guard's house. So as the guard's house closer, so the 4 of you start to head towards the graveyard. 2 of you, Cal and Ook, go to the guard house. Do you just want to give them the body, have rights for the body? Just let them know what happened?
Ook might as well carry the body, and then the guards can lead the way. And Cal can choose to stay with us if he wants, or go with the rest of the group.
I'll stay with them since I'm already here.
Okay. So they take the body, and they summon an oracle to come and do the last rites of the body. Funny enough, to put the body to rest, they walk you to the graveyard.
Of course.
So
I was gonna say we're all gonna.
Yeah. So as you're talking to the guards and they tell you what's happening, they start to walk towards the graveyard, and you can see the group just a little ways ahead of you, also walking to the graveyard.
Well, it's up to them if they want to stand with us while we bury him or not.
So they lead you to the Chapel of the All Sight, the same chapel where you rescued that lion now almost a week earlier. When you get to this chapel, it's much more busy and vibrant during the day than it was at night when you were there the first time. You can see many of these oracles moving around, tending to graves, kind of cleaning the place up. You can see candles are lit where it looks to be some of the more prominent graves, some of the more important graves, and to where there's new grave marks have been laid. They lead you into the large cathedral. And as you go into the cathedral, you notice, this would be Roach and Varric, that there are many of that same ceremonial dagger that you found in the den was also laid all around this church. It looks to be it has some sort of significance. And now you also remember that it's the same dagger that was found that was going to be used to kill the lion all those days ago. It's that same type of ornate goldish dagger. But as you make your way in, there's a couple of the oracles. They lay out the Imperial Dragoon's body. They say the same ritual that the oracle that you protected said. A body to burn, ashes to keep, a bed of soil, eternal sleep, a life to offer, a guide to meet. And you see this older oracle make her way forward, and this is the oracle that you assume is Rostami. The oracle that was asking about Eros Abreus, the old Abreus captain who was left, the one that put out the, basically was going to pay anyone that could find him. She seems to be the head oracle here. She does the ritual. It's a very beautiful ritual. She lays Dragoon down. After she lays the Dragoon down, she walks to each of you if you're at the ritual, and she presents a goldish dagger that looks like a very well crafted ornate dagger, similar to the one that you had, but this looks to be like much more extensive. There's inlaid jewels and gems. For those that are familiar with Ulkadia, this is made from pure Ulkadian bronze. It is extremely sturdy, extremely powerful. And she raises it to each of you to kiss the hilt, if you will kiss the hilt. So does anyone not kiss the hilt?
I would probably be outside inspecting the statues, seeing if there's any less than before.
Okay. So does anyone not do it? Except for Roach, because Roach is outside. Alright, so each one of you kiss. Varric, do you kiss?
Yep.
Okay.
I won't actually, never mind.
So she presents it to you and you refuse?
Yep.
She kind of gives you a cross look. Well, maybe you should just wait outside and let this happen. Might be for the best, so the dead can find their way properly to Podoma.
Sir will approach
walk
in the
outside.
case of Varric, and then
You call him kisses it?
kiss in his place, yeah.
Very, very good.
I would speak when it's on my turn to kiss the dagger
Okay.
and say, "Forgive him. He is filled with too much anger to understand Badoma's ways."
It is not for everyone.
Sadly.
She presents the hilt. After each of you kiss it, she takes the dagger, she unsheaths it. She makes the small incision on the left side of the neck and the right side of the neck of the Imperial Dragoon. And then she says again, the offering. Then she takes 2 gold coins, puts one on the left eye and the right eye. And after the ritual is complete, she gives a generous smile to all of you. And thank you for participating and bringing one of our finest back to us.
Thank you for burying him.
May he find Podoma, and may he not be returned.
I would look towards the door and look back.
You see Varric and Roach kind of walking around looking at statues. There are statues missing from the last time.
Oh my god. Ah, fuck. We need to find Aspasia.
Indeed.
After the ritual, Ook is going to go up to the guards that are normally at the station, the guardhouse, and ask if they can escort her to the Null prisoner.
Well, if you
If
want
you guys
to.
care to meet with Aspasia, I am going to go check on the Null prisoner.
I'll go
Two.
find Aspasia with the others. You go do that.
She says that in a very, like, void tone.
Ook, do you need backup?
Oh, I can handle this.
Okay.
I can meet you guys back at the inn.
We will meet you there.
Then she'll go with the guards.
Meet back at the end of night. Let's go find Aspasia.
Digital profit 250 bits. Thanks, man.
What?
Hey!
Give him some love. Do you want to give Cal
Thanks,
advantage?
man.
Advantage to Cal.
Thank you.
Can I go up to an acolyte?
Yeah, one of the oracles.
Yeah, just really quick.
Hmm?
Excuse me, real quick. I had a question.
Yes.
Yes. So I was here, obviously, for the ritual. I was over there. I was wondering, what was the purpose of cutting into the dead man's, the dragoon's neck?
So this oracle, and every oracle you've seen so far, has very palish, almost like the color has been like removed from their body, compared to the oracle that you saw earlier. Chaos King TV, what's up? Which is, it's kind of ironic. I guess you're not really sure why that would be that way, but we cut the left and the right sides of the neck in a way to prevent them from coming back as return. So if they do choose to come back, they do not have life in them, and they just come back dead.
Do you mean they don't come back as a returned,
If they
or as somebody that Bodoma rejects?
So they do not come back as they returned.
Okay, and what about the individuals that get rejected or sent back by Bodoma and go into let's say, another person's life or body or reborn or something?
So we are unable to step in the toes of such a powerful god as the primal deity. So if she chooses to return someone to their body, we cannot prevent, and we look at that as a beautiful thing. Bodoma has smiled upon them to return to this world, to shine in a new way in her guidance. We merely cut the neck to make sure that if someone tries to escape Bodoma's judgment, that they do not walk the earth.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. Returned are escapees of a prison, essentially. No, that sounds wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yes, but see, the returned, when they come back, they have no prior recollection, and they just traverse aimlessly, destroying everything in front of them.
Except for the last part. I feel like I know somebody that's very similar to that.
You know what a returned?
Well, I mean, we have fought them a few times. However, the individual I'm thinking isn't necessarily undead. I think.
So there
Can
you
I
are.
do an insight check to see if they have a pulse, like neck? I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to tell. Are they breathing?
The oracle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's breathing. She's alive.
Okay. Okay. The paleness threw me off.
Nobody else streams this game, but some of our players stream other nights. I am happy to hear that you have laid the returned back into the ground. May all of us have enough strength to do so. They're not fit to walk this earth. They are unclean.
have you been? How has Bedoma been lately to you? And the church.
We are not lucky enough to have direct contact with Bedoma. We know she is there and she has our best interests at heart, and we do what we can to give her what she needs. Now, if you wish to speak to the Allsight, he is much more interested in dealing with mortal matters.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. I shall return later.
But of course,
What is your name?
my name is Maynard.
Gonad.
M-A-N-A-D. Maynard.
I'm sorry.
So we got Big Bulge No Captain, and we got Gonad.
Ass fast.
This is what happens when you ask me to make up name on spot. It's got balls in it.
You know, I'm so sorry. Hello, Nimbus.
Yes,
Okay, thank you. I will return mine ad.
you may call me Giant Schlong. Thank you.
Alright, and I'll walk to the group.
Yeah, that's how you spell it, Dan. Go Nad. Ook. So Ook's walked away while you're talking, and you're headed to the captain to speak to the Gnoll. They take you in the back. The Gnoll looks very malnourished, but somewhat fed. Here's your prisoner. I hope you're willing to take him.
Actually, can you two hold him down?
We're finally going to put him out of his misery and free up this cell. They open the cell door and they forcefully throw the Gnoll to the ground. One puts his like shoulder and his elbow into the spine. The Gnoll's so malnourished that he really can't fight back at this point.
Ook is gonna rage just for overkill, and she's gonna take out her great axe and just chop off its head.
Yes, that perfect. Finally, you've shown yourself to be a dragoon at last.
If any of my group members come by, you can just let them know that he passed, unfortunately.
It's a pleasure. I would much prefer to hang this body outside the door so that all may see.
If we can be more subtle, can we just dispose of it? I can do that for you right now.
If that is what you wish, we will just burn the body.
Please do that, and she'll hand them actually a gold coin for them to split. Or they can figure it out.
Well, it looks like we're going to the ale house tonight.
Thank you. And then she just walks away. She's gonna go to the inn.
Okay. So as you make your way to the inn after decapitating your Gnoll prisoner, how would you guys, in the meantime that this is happening, how would you like to try to find Aspasia?
We know what his face looks like, right?
I would just suggest going to the house they're staying at.
Only you know that, though.
Yeah, I'm with you guys.
Wait,
I'll
didn't
go
we
with
just
Roach if he
tell them
decides
to
to
go
go there, and
hang
we'll
out
just
the inn?
wait till night, until they return home for the day.
However you guys want to do it?
Let's get the blood ready. I suppose we need to see if this will summon the allies.
Are we going to their house, or are we waiting for him to come to the graveyard?
Let's just wait outside of their house for a little while. I think they'll come eventually.
Just chill and vibe.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I assume they're workers in the village, just like anyone else.
So you want to spend just time here waiting by their house? Have Roach lead you to their house and then...
We'll just wait outside.
Okay.
In, like, clear light where they can see us as they're approaching.
So Roach, you lead them to the farmhouse where you followed them that night while they were freeing the line and taking it to the... It's outside of town. Lead him to the house. When you get to the house, it's strange. The door of the front of the house is open, and the door kind of moves with the wind. The house looks empty. It's a small cottage. There's a couple windows on the outside, but the windows look to be closed and boarded up. The farm around the house, there doesn't seem to be anything planted, just dirt. It doesn't look lived in.
Go and investigate it.
Walking into the house and looking around, you can see remnants as you peek through the front door. There's many bedrolls pushed into the corner. There's many sacks, and you can see food on the table. It's almost like the food was prepared and they were in the middle of eating, and then for whatever reason they're gone, and now you can see half-eaten plates of food, and there's maggots and flies that are nesting in the food.
Is there anything that, any food knocked over, they were in the middle of a scuffle, or if they just had to leave really quick?
Looking at it a little closer, you can see a couple of the forks have bites of food on the food, and it looks like they were in the middle of eating and they just dropped the forks and then vanished.
Are there any tracks nearby I would be able to follow?
Make an investigation.
And humans are one of my favorite enemies too, so.
Nice, okay. Do so with advantage. Or a 20 is good enough. Well, the 20, as everyone's around you and you guys are looking through the house, if you want to spend 10 minutes or so kind of looking through the house, you guys would find some things. If you want to get anything, any kind of mundane items, you could find rope or lanterns or any kind of basic necessities. Torches.
Torches. I'll re up on torches.
Okay. So looking through real quick, you find 3 torches just scattered through the house. The tracks are very easy to follow, and it looks like there's maybe 6 humans, and they all rushed out very quickly from the front door. So you see the tracks, you follow the tracks outside to the farmhouse, and looking at how the tracks go, they go to the east for about as far as your eyes can see at the moment while the sun's up, which is almost 250, 300 feet to the east.
Shall we follow?
I think we have to.
Yeah.
Cal will grab some rope before he leaves, and then we'll follow Roach.
Do we know anything that is in the east direction?
The captain.
That's true.
What?
The town captain. Guard captain.
From where we are?
Yes. He was off to the east. We don't know how far the tracks go.
How do we know he was that way?
Because we've been told he goes off to the east every couple nights.
The guards told us the other day. Should we go get Ook before we leave?
Let's follow the tracks for a little bit and see where they lead. And if they keep going, we'll turn around.
Alright.
So you follow the tracks. You follow the first 300 feet, and the tracks go out past the village. And as they go out past the village, the tracks, they almost... What was once maybe a 2 to 3 single file line, they spread out, almost like they were walking side by side, almost hand by hand. And after your 300 feet, you follow again another 100 feet, and the tracks just continue east for past your eyesight again.
I think we should go get Ook.
Absolutely.
Seems to be a while.
I'll go get her.
I'm quite rested, so I can continue on tonight. We just need to get the whole party.
I will go with Ook and make haste to come catch up with you guys. If you want to continue at a slower pace.
Here.
Okay.
I'll get torches ready and such.
Am I able to tell how fresh the tracks might be? About how old?
Yeah, so with a 20, maybe a day and a half. So you rush back. You see Ook in the tavern in the Rising Dawn Inn.
Ook, come with me. We're done here.
Okay.
As Ook,
She's gonna chug her stout
that she got, but then she'll follow.
So as you
Okay.
chug your stout, the waitress walks over to you. And you'll remember the waitress, the young Ulkadian girl, Hella. She walks up to you with another mug in her hand and she puts it down. Bjorn bought this for you, Uk.
Bjorn?
The orc guy?
huge guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from Bjorn. He wanted me to tell you hello.
Hello. Can
Tell
you
him
hear
thank you.
me?
And then she chugs that drink too.
Hello.
Is it me you're looking?
No, that's a
Maybe that's all she needs.
Is it me?
Okay, it's not time to get fucked tonight. Let's go.
As you rush out, you
Don't
hear.
forget about your boyfriend next door, Theater.
No, okay. No.
Yes, Otter, thank
There's
you for
a
the
height
follow.
requirement.
As you rush out, you hear like a chair get thrown back, and Bjorn has forcefully stood up, and he like watches you leave, like, ah.
Oh, whatever. Get the fuck out.
No,
I'm not
probably
up for no love confessions right now.
I mean,
I didn't mean to offend.
Listen to this.
I didn't mean to offend you.
I think he wants to talk to you.
He thinks that he offended you as the arrows put down as you rushed out. So he's like, I apologize, sorry.
Do you think
She
we
doesn't
should talk
acknowledge
to him?
it. She just.
I mean,
keeps moving.
Ook, he looks pretty sad. I mean, he looks like a nice suitor.
That's just not my problem.
So you guys rush out of the
Move
inn.
forward.
It takes you about
Okay.
20 minutes to catch up to the group. As they're like slowly
I
walking
inform her of everything.
Ook is
that
very
I know.
obviously sad herself. And she's very not due to that
No.
incident, but when you came into the inn as she was drinking, she normally does not drink.
Chaos King TV, thanks for the follow.
She thought it was because of that. I thought it was weird that you were drinking stout. I was like, maybe she put a bark in it.
Nope.
They very quickly catch up to the trail. And the trail just continues deeper to the east. Now you're in a long field of plains. It's very vibrant, grassy plains. A little bit to your west, you can see what looks to be like golden wheat fields, and looks like some of the farms are growing a lot of wheat in this area. But for the most part, you're looking at just long, planed flatlands, and you can see these very prominent footprints pressed down into the ground that just continues going east for as far as you can see.
Hey guys, we're back. Hopefully, did we miss anything?
Not really.
No. Just
It's
been waiting here.
quiet.
Following the
Cal's gonna-
trail. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nope. Cal's just gonna light a torch and hand it to Cyril to carry.
So it is dark. Or it's going to be dark soon. Do you want to just keep pressing and following? Or how would you like to go? Chaos
I think
King,
that's reckless, but yeah.
thanks for joining the Discord
Woot woot.
Welcome.
and our
Welcome to
shenanigans.
the family. Lots of dick jokes.
Especially tonight, Jesus.
I did just not even realize it said welcome.
Welcome.
They're turning into
It's all
work.
fucked.
It's literally
Well,
just
we're
this stream.
Well,
If
howdy
anyone
there,
wants to
mate.
continue.
Could have gotten
I'm sorry.
fucked, but no.
Oh, you're in the military, used to that? Oh, definitely.
I mean, I just went to college, but sure.
You travel for about another hour with torches out, leading into the dark. Every so often you'll see golden fireflies float around. But for the most part, it's a very pleasant spring night as you continue in the dark with torches out. And these trails just continue on farther east. You follow the trail to almost, which you assume is around midnight. The moon is above half moon. Do you want to keep going? Or do you want to make camp?
Can I?
Let's rest for a little while. We've
Yeah.
been walking for quite a while now.
I think we're headed into some sort of trap because we keep going further and further from where we are familiar, and we don't know where we're going. We don't know where it ends.
Just follow the footsteps, but I think it's best if we rest till dawn.
Once we make camp, I'll still scout forward, so
Is there some sort of, I don't know if it's a check or something, but I want to inquire, is this towards like the Setzel people?
I will show you on the map. So you guys be going this way. So I mean, you got a couple days journey until you get to the Alabaster Glade, which is the outskirts of that Fey-touched forest that Roak was talking about. Are you saying? Oh, you're muted for me if you're talking.
I'm talking to Sable.
Oh, okay,
He's like,
gotcha.
what did I miss?
Gotcha. Cool. So how far? So Roach, you wanna? They make camp. How far do you want to push, and like kind of go?
You know, I'll probably keep go. Are they doing a long rest?
I don't know. That's a good question. Are you guys wanting a long rest or short rest?
I think we're gonna do a long rest so we don't get us exhausted.
Yeah, I'm done for a long rest. We just leave at dawn, early dawn.
Well, I'll risk it. 4 hours out and 4 hours back.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Okay. 4 hours. 3 hours into your march, the terrain changes a bit. It gets a little more hilly, and you come across a almost like a large hill where there's a little bit of a cavern built into the side. It looks almost like a hobbit den, but a large cavernous door. Now the tracks pass it, so the tracks don't go into it. The tracks kind of go around it a bit and then keep on going to the northeast. And that's the only landmark that you see anywhere in your 4 hours. Hobbit Dan. Giant bulge Dan.
I'll probably bypass that and keep following the tracks for now.
Okay. So you go about 4 hours, well past where you saw this little hobbit den, and then make your way back to the party. You get back close to when the sun's about to rise. You almost wake up the party as Alrendi is watching over. She usually does the second watch. So you get back and you see the party, and they all wake up around you. It's a new day.
So Roach went out and came back?
Yeah, he went 4 hours out, and then he spent the 4 hours to come back to you guys. And
Okay.
the only thing that stood out to him as he was traveling following the trail was this. It gets a little hillier, and then he saw that hill. There's like a little cavern in the hill. But the tracks didn't go into the cavern.
Well, let's continue onward. Let's find out where this guy's friends went.
I feel like this is impetuous. We have no game plan. We don't even know who we're following. This could be Aspasia and his friends, and we literally have no idea.
That's why we're following, to get an idea.
They could be back into town.
The tracks haven't turned back.
We don't know who the tracks belong to, though. We could be going and finding a different set of travelers, or a group of homeless individuals who are just traveling around.
No, he went into that house. I followed him there.
But is he the owner? We don't even know if he owns the place. It could just be anybody.
Cultists generally travel together from what I can tell, so we'll most likely find them if we keep following the tracks, but we have no idea where these tracks go or for how far.
And we've come this far. Surely you aren't suggesting we turn back.
No, not at all. I would hate
We are
to
going
lose
to
such
the
progress.
east, so while we're here, we can look for the captain or the guardsman that they
And
mentioned
this
in
is
town.
the only lead so far that really points to the captain rather than he goes out to meet someone.
Are you talking about the captain that's been missing for, I don't know, a few days, a week or so?
2
A
weeks
week or
now.
more now.
He was gone for a week when we were there, and then we were gone for 5 days, so almost 2 weeks.
What is his name?
I say we continue onward, at the very least.
His name is
If you
Eros
don't mind.
Reyes. Eros. He's the descendant of the Brews family and the founder of the hamlet. So you continue onward, northeast. 3 hours or so of walking, following the tracks, and then you all come to that same Hobbit-style hill, as now the fields have turned into a little bit of a hilly terrain, and you see the little cavernous opening to the side, and then the trail that you're following continues northward. So the group can either choose to like look through the cavern, or you can keep going.
I say keep going.
Best to keep going.
What? You don't want to look through the cavern?
We can look through the
We can go
cavern when
back
we
to it.
return.
For now, we have an objective to accomplish.
I want to not look through the cavern, but I want to do a perception. I know. I want to do a perception check at the entrance of it to see if I can hear, like, if I was running away from something pretty scary, I would want to try to hide somewhere where my people wouldn't die, and that could be a cavern. So I want to be on the outside, see if I can spot scurried tracks or hear breathing or talking or campfire smoke I can smell.
Okay. Make a perception check. As you approach quietly to the entrance of this hillside cavern. IPA allow, what's up, dude? 22.
Ren, would you like me to scout out the cavern for you? I can do it very quickly.
With my 22? If depending on what Bruce says, I'll probably say yes or no.
With a 22, so a couple things will stick out. One is you can smell smoke, a campfire. You can hear some sort of strange, pleasant music, and it sounds like it's coming from a pan flute. It sounds like it's one loud pan flute and then a few almost like very rapturous, some sort of humanoids that are enjoying themselves and having a good time. It almost sounds like a party. But inside, looking into the cavern for the first 60 to 90 feet of your dark vision, it's just a dark cavern that extends deep into the hillside and kind of slopes downward.
Guys. Okay, I head back to the group pretty expediently. With Ook, I tell her to come with me because I assume she's already with me.
Cheers, dude. Cheers, IPA.
Damn, satyrs.
IPA is always drinking. Yeah, 30 satyrs or gypsies.
I know that we want to continue on, but there is something in the cave, and there I smell a campfire, and they're playing music.
Do you think it's concerning enough to check out?
They might be able to know something.
True.
Did the trail go inside?
How
Or
far?
go close to it?
How far off the roads are we right now?
There's no road here, but you're about 30 to 40 feet away from the trail.
Well, any normal path here was is it a day away or is it
Yeah,
approximate?
maybe
I mean, they did
12
sound like they
hours
were
or so
having
away from the
fun.
trail. If you're looking for the trail that leads north, you're about, maybe 12 hours from the trail. From the road.
If we're going to approach them, we need to be cautious. There's little reason for them to be this far off the road.
Could I want to head towards the cave area, and close my eyes, and I'll stick my eye hand out, and I want to try to see with my hand, if there's some sort of tethering going on, if there's some sort of magical essence that maybe I could feel in the air, maybe something different.
This cavern is full of the bond.
Fuck.
If we do go to the cavern, I recommend we leave by midday, and I point to the sun, which is at I assume to be close to dawn still, since we've only been walking for a while.
Yeah, it's only 3 hours past dawn, so you got it. You got a ways till nightfall.
The second the sun is midday, we need to leave. Those cultists are probably walking constantly. We'll never
Amadune has
catch
been
up to them
here.
I might fuck myself, but when was the last time I took a long rest?
Exhaustion.
The campfire the night before. So not last night, but the night before. So what's your Constitution plus?
+3.
Okay, you're fine. Yeah, you're good for now.
If you want to investigate, we could spend 2 hours or so. No more than that, though.
Is this
Please, I would love
part
it.
of your
It-
pilgrimage?
Very. Who? I'm on a pilgrimage? I mean, sure, if we want to call it that.
I'll look at the others. I'm accepting a slight detour for 2 hours, if anyone else.
You must be quick. They're still almost a day ahead of us.
I am not too good at parties.
Well, what
I've
if
been
it's
told
just
I was
Ook
a
and
bit of
I?
a wet potato.
No,
or
we should all
wet
go.
blanket.
I
That
am
makes
the
you
wet
great!
potato.
Because while others get distracted, you remain steadfast, Ook. That's why I need you by my side. You're
Isn't
welcome.
this a
Would be
distraction?
great,
But
but
it hurt
you know.
my nose just walking past that cavern, but okay.
I miss D&D. I'm glad I'm back.
All right, we go. I'm gonna lead the way with Ook. I'm so excited. Ah!
So just two of you or all six of you?
I'm gonna be behind. I'm gonna have my bow out and an arrow knocked.
All right, give me this is a 10-foot wide corridor. So give me 2 in the front, 2 in the mid, 2 in the back as a marching
I
order.
don't want to go near
Ook
Soldier.
and I.
So Rendine, Ook in the front. Rogue, you say Rogue's in the back? Okay. So I got Varric,
I'll be in the middle.
Cal in the middle, and then Cyril kind of close to you. So you walk in about 90 feet into this hill, and the hill slowly, gradually dips downward. As it dips down, the smell is stronger. It smells like roasted pork. It's delicious. The sound of singing can be heard. As you get a little bit closer, the sound of singing is also filled with the sound of the occasional ba. Follow for another 90 feet, and then the corridor slowly opens. Give me a sec here to set yourself up.
Why did I agree to go into
Just so
another
you know-
damn cave?
Sable said it was most likely humans because humans smell like pork.
Smart man.
Hey, I would know if humans are going in there because I'm tracking something.
Exactly.
So this is
What the fuck? Don't!
Yep,
the
but fucking
fuck?
thing.
there's the
It's a beautiful
Fucking
smile.
2-hour detour my ass.
all right, 2 tokens. We'll spread them out here for chat and everybody too.
It was so scary. That's so disgusting.
All right.
God, fuck.
My token is outside of the map right now.
Okay.
What the fuck? I hate goats. Let
I'll-
alone demonic goats.
Let me drop everyone in here to get you guys some room, so you can see all the stuff.
I guess this is a dark cavern.
So the area that you guys are standing in is dark, but in front of you, you can see a little bit of the campfire light. Now, what you see as you come out of the small opening, you can hear the sound of singing and the occasional baying of goat. An unkempt woman, which is the one on the left, with the feet and horns of a goat, sings miraculously and swigs from a filthy cup of wine. She's accompanied in her merrymaking by a handful of squat bipedal goat-like things. They're about 4 feet tall. A sweet smell, which was the roasted pork, wafts from the corpse of a dwarf that is cooking over the fire. A second corpse of the dwarf is in a cage, and he looks to be either unconscious or dead from your vantage point. As you walk in, the goats are in like this rapturous dance and sing, and they don't really pay much mind to you.
Can we leave?
No, okay. So if we would have left them, they all would have been dead. Okay, that's not okay.
Wait. Just to go back a little bit, did you say humans smell like pork when you cook them?
You damn
That's what
cannibals.
Sigil said.
Okay,
said.
all right. How do you know that?
Because there have been studies that have found that humans taste like meat, like pig meat.
Well, Winston Churchill was
Like the
onto something.
cannibalistic tribes in Africa.
Winston
Just throw in
Churchill
the
quote.
connection there,
Look it
it's
up.
fine.
Studies at
All
MSU.
right. Do we wish to intervene or do we wish to leave?
We need to
Now's
intervene
the time.
Why do we need to intervene?
because they are in trouble. This is not okay. I'm familiar with trance-like fey creatures. This seems like it. They are not. This is not alright.
Calling from his almost like throne-like corner. I don't know if you guys can see him from vantage point, but he's the woman with the horns. She calls out to all of you, raising a mug, and some of the wine spills. She looks like she's almost drunk. Have you come to join us in our party? We feast on dwarf tonight. Come
I
closer.
love dwarf.
I
Wait,
mean, technically, it's
what
not
kind of
cannibalism
dwarf?
for most of us.
This
I'm
is
not
true.
about this at all.
Mountain dwarf, kind of chewy.
Come by the fire. Join us. The water is not deep.
Sword, I will raise mine as well. I like to all the others.
We have to do something.
Don't be
And I'll
shy.
walk forward.
Walking closer, you can see their dance and their song is almost like filling this entire cavern with sparks and fireflies and light, and that's what's floating around the cavern. And it's everywhere. It's almost
That's so cool.
when you get closer, it's almost it almost fills your senses with just like pure euphoria. Everyone make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna use my advantage.
You got it.
I forgot how to do the wisdom with the little circle underneath. Wait. Never mind.
I think I'm gonna use my advantage.
And I'm using my hive thing, so I'm at 16.
Okay.
We're all gonna use our advantage.
Everybody use an advantage.
I'm gonna use mine.
Good.
There's one thing.
I ain't fucking with these goat people.
You're a fucking fae.
I'm good.
Well, let's cast
I'm
it.
used to Fae. I get this.
All right, so Cal uses advantage.
Oh god.
Oak
Every
uses
time I've
advantage.
used advantage, it's
Roach's
been
advantage.
much lower than my initial roll. That's about right.
Anyone else use advantage? Just
Nope.
Cal, Ook, and Roach? Okay. So Ook fails. Already passes, Varric passes, Roach passes. What'd you get, Cal? 6? 10 passes. So everyone passes except for Ook. Ook, roll a d4.
What about cereal?
Oh, Cyril's immune to this.
Cyril doesn't have to roll.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
He's a construct.
he's a construct. With the 3,
Cyril's based upon my mindset.
so with 3, every time that you speak right now, Ook, you have to move your shoulders like this.
Yes.
And camera.
What is that?
Every time she speaks, she has to go like this. As you've been overcome with dance.
I'm so excited. Where the fuck is Bacchus?
Oh, where'd the screen go?
Uh-oh. You're all black.
Ah! Let me fix it.
What? It's fine for me.
There it
It's
is.
good for me.
It was gone on the stream. Now it's back.
Ah, gotcha.
He's back. All right. So as you guys walk into this cavernous den full of Goatling and the Satyr, Ooks just starts to shake her shoulders like she's having just a great time.
How do you expect us to pass?
Going on.
The water is not
Having
deep.
a good time.
You're all very tall. You'll be fine.
I don't get wet.
How deep is the water?
Looks about a foot.
Okay, Roak is having like none of this and is going to look to like Varric and Roach and like just be like, are we gonna set this dwarf free or what?
Do you say that?
The dwarf is dead.
The dwarf is dead in the cage?
We
Dead
don't
or
know.
unconscious.
We don't know.
They're cooking him,
Which
aren't
is
he?
fine.
Aren't they?
Do you
Or is
say
there
that?
someone
No,
else?
the other dwarves.
Second one.
Oh. okay.
Gotcha.
I'm having none of the dwarf in the cage.
I turn around, if you're saying this, I turn around and I look at you guys like, these are fey creatures, and I'm more familiar with handling them. You need to approach them with finesse. We need to jump on them.
Okay.
And I
Luke starts
quickly
approaching
turn around.
like that.
I quickly turn around and I say, first the golem. Prove the way.
Golem will walk forward through the water.
Digital Prophet gives advantage to Ook with 300 bits. Thanks, man.
Oh yeah, thank
Hey!
you. I'm so
She needs it.
desperately need it for it to work.
I'll put my bow away, but my little arms are both ready to draw my swords for my main arms.
Okay. So as you
Wait. Sorry, go ahead.
as you walk across
That's
the
so many
water,
questions.
getting closer to the goatlings, these 3 foot, 4 foot tall goatlings are just around you, just spinning in circles and dancing.
I hate goats. I
Have you-
hate petting zoos.
Have you come to adore some of the dwarf? Bah! Thank you for the follow, Lycian52.
Woot woot, thank you.
Appreciate it. You're just
Every
like,
time
go ahead.
Every time someone makes it to shore, I cast prestidigitation on them to get them completely dry.
Okay.
So is dwarf a delicacy or something in these parts?
This type of dwarf is delicious.
Well, technically, in these parts, anything's a delicacy.
Well, you see,
He's not wrong.
as the satyr. So the satyr, for those that are aware with the trance, which would be Roak especially, these are not just pure
And me?
satyrs. In and out, Randy.
Every 4 hours a day.
These are not like. There's different types of satyrs. These are a Maenad, Maenad.
Wait a second.
So as the satyr dances, you see
Does this happen?
the dwarfs, when they are extra greedy like these 2 merchants, when they swindle our kind, they taste oh so sweet over the fire.
So their actions in life dictate their flavor.
Yes.
Interesting.
Would you like some wine?
Perhaps in a moment.
Whose blood was it made out of?
The one that you see hanging over the fire, of course.
That makes a lot of sense, thank you.
It is so sweet. So potent. It fills you with dance, and he spins in a circle.
Do I have any like control or I mean I'm just dancing, right? Like
Yeah, you can.
this.
Your whole body can move. You just.
But I still have like control over my thoughts and everything.
Yeah, you
right?
can. You can act. You can move. You can talk. You just have to move your shoulders.
You gotta dance. You got the feeling in you.
You got that Napoleon on stage dance, Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, I can be that awkward. Sure.
What
Now-
did this gnome, or excuse me, this, what is it, dwarf do?
You see this dwarf, the one in the cage there. He is the head merchant of these 2. The other one, I guess what you would call him, what a defender, a bodyguard. He tried to sell me a magical item that I did not want. And when I said I did not want it, he tried to use magic to make me buy it. He spits on the ground. You gonna influence the Fae?
So you decided to eat him because he disrespected you.
Yes. Is that right? My companions and other goats. Bah! And they like bay really loud into the air.
No, that just won't do.
Now that you've entered more, you can see a goat is also dancing on a little rock in the water, spinning in circles.
Kind of sensing like Ook's like displeasure, Roak would like
Can you though when
shuffle.
I'm dancing? It's very contradictory.
Sensing the incongruity in what
That
she's
won't
saying.
do.
Roak shuffles to her side.
She's
and
gonna
says-
pull out her axe.
Kyle's gonna whisper to Alrendi and Varric. Ciro's in position.
I am definitely ready just to try and cut one of the head off behind me if I see anyone move.
Can I
Okay.
do? Well, hold on. Can I do an intelligent check or whatever check to know how best to deal with this fey creature of a leader Maynard guy? She. Sorry.
So you would know. Goatlings aren't very powerful, but what they lack in strength, they make up for in mockery. And you would know
We got
that
girl.
satyrs, especially a Maynard, it is better to intelligently persuade rather than attack.
Yeah, Matt. If Roak has the same insight,
Yeah, you would. Yep.
he would kind of, as Ook is kind of getting worked up, place a hand on her axe and just kind of be like, "My dear, I believe Alrendi is correct. Tact is most useful in this situation. These beings should not be trifled with."
I would look towards Cow and he whispered towards me and say, "Follow my lead, please."
Cal nods.
I can smell
What is?
their foulness, but I will follow you guys.
When you walk closer, you see the goalie next to the fire takes this little pitchfork from his pocket, jams it into the dwarf, and peels off a little bit of flesh and. Sweet.
Can we tell if the one in the cage is alive now?
Make a medicine check. A lot of medicine checks tonight.
Nice job, DM.
With an 8, he looks to have died somewhat recently. The skin is a little pale, and he's unmoving. His eyes are closed.
My name
I'll
is
kinda look
Ren.
towards the others and say, and I'll just like nod in a negative mention.
Closer to the cage too, you do see this very well-made snake headdress, which is what you assume Satyr was talking of, laying next to the dead dwarf. And you would sense the magical tether coming off this item.
Roak still has his water flask of blood, right?
Yep.
He would take that out and kind of just gesture to the satyrs like, "Y'all must be thirsty here," and extends it and in offering.
Satyr takes it, downs it, tosses it to his friend. Some of the blood kind of trickles down the cheek, down the stomach of this goat. It's not bad. Not as sweet as the dwarf, but
It's fresh Knoll blood. It isn't as refined as your palates may be used to. However, we bring it in offerings to join your ritual here.
I appreciate that very much. Here, let me extend the gratitude. And he tosses you this empty, looks to be like a wooden cup with a little bit of vines that reach around the side. He throws it over to you.
Cal kind of has this itching at the back of his mind, but can't describe what it is.
Ren would step in between the golem and the goat-like creature to get a little bit more distance. And she would look towards the satyr and say, "My name is Ren. What is yours?"
I'm afraid I cannot tell you my name until you drink from the cup.
Roak, is that the cup that Roak was tossed?
Yeah, he kind of motions to it. And as you hold it,
Yeah.
you can see the satyr kind of waves his hand, and as he does, it fills with this congealated reddish liquid.
Roak will drink.
It's very sweet. Tastes like wine. It's very good.
He nods and passes gesturingly to Al Wendy.
In between the goat. Ugh. Ren would take it, and she would drink it, but it wouldn't go anywhere past her lips.
Make a deception check.
If I need to make a bandage, you better tell me now.
16's pretty good. Do you swear or do you taste the nectar?
It's a bit sweet. It really is. I've never had dwarf's blood before, especially upon an open fire like this. How do you do that?
From the same being that made you die. The same being, as he kind of looks and he sees your ears and recognizes that you're an elf. The same.
I wave with my hand palm. I think.
We all bask in his conscience. We all partake from his creations. And we must kill anything that deceives us. Together. Now, my name is Anthelio. It is a great pleasure to meet all of you. So tell me, why have the 6 of you made it into my cavern?
Roak would kind of speak up and just say, "We smelled and heard of your festivities and merry wandering band. Weary after traveling so long, thought we might take a rest and partake."
You are more than welcome to stay here for the day, for the night, for the week. We will feast together on dwarf flesh. Don't be shy, come closer. She kind of motions over to Ook and to Varric and to Roach, kind of staying back a bit. No reason to be scared. You're in the presence of the children of the architect.
They were always in the presence of the child of the creator.
Yes, but you and I are much more prominent than these folk.
I mean no disrespect, but I would like to stand here. I would not
Shoulders.
want to bring you down with your celebrations. She just has her great axe and she's gonna be like leaning on it and just going like this. She's like awkwardly watching from afar.
This is the
I would like to
direction.
just leave the cave.
I'll just say I'm fine where I am.
I'm like, I got a mad face and go.
Where is your home, Anthelio?
You're sitting in it.
This is the mortal plane. I belong here.
Yes, but I've grown quite fond of this cavern, and I think I will stay here. It is very nice.
It is not your home. It is but a vacation home.
Yeah, when I grow weary or bored, then I will find a new home. But for the time being, this is a very nice place. And he kind of leans back and he raises his feet onto a little rock and reclines. Takes another giant swig.
Can I ask you, Anthelio, something?
Of course, child of the architect.
I have discovered the most fascinating things created by a human in the town nearby. And it is small and bubbly when you get it wet, and it smells quite fresh. Not as like sweet as cooked meat does, but have you had something like that?
Leans forward. Just jumps up real quick. She like leaps off. Gets close to you.
It's not something you eat, mind you. It's something you use, and it doesn't go away very quickly. You have to use it over and over again, but it's only usable when wet.
What is this magical creation that you have found?
The best thing is, and Alrendi would kind of like lower herself down to his height and lean a little bit closer, kind of like pretending to keep away from the goat next to this person, and say, the best part is, it isn't magical. I discover no tether within it.
Well, now I am confused. Show this to me.
Oh, I can't do such a thing so easily. Of course you know that. And she would lean back and kind of like look around, and other people should see her face.
She steps back with her hands up. You hear this, Goatlings? We have great people in our midst that bring creations from far and wide that I have never seen before. Is this a god before me? Is this Kava in the flesh? No, this could not be.
If anybody was Kavo, it'd be the blue frog next to me.
Kava is a trickery. He hides in many forms.
Kavo wouldn't be so foolish to hide into the creator as such. Creator's child as such, that is, and the golden elf.
That is true. So, what will it take, Great Alrendi, to show me what you have in your possession?
She told her name as Ren.
Great Ren, what will it take?
Well, all the meat you have here is killed and cooked. What about the one in the cage? Is it cooked yet? Is it dead?
He's quite dead, but he will be cooked next. After we have feasted on the flank of this one. She pokes the dwarf, spitting over the fire like a hog.
I like my meat specific. So, is there none you have alive? None ready to be butchered?
No, but if you give me just a mere hour or so, I can find someone. Bring him back here.
No. We don't have time for that, unfortunately. We're looking. We're on our way, traveling through some mountains, but... what say you, group of mine? Do we want the dead one in the cage?
If I may, and Roak kind of steps forward, what magical item did this devilish dwarf manage to perhaps persuade you to purchase?
Do you see that headdress in the cage there? The one that looks like a snake? The helmet? Yes,
I do.
That one there. What he does not understand is that I do not like snakes.
Roak would kind of gesture towards it. If the item offends you so, perhaps, if I may, I could remove it from this cavern and from your sight, as it is such a offending item.
That would be very appreciative. But it is worth something. Tell me, Ren and Roak, give me your magical item that isn't magical. And you can take the dead dwarf.
The dead dwarf in the cage is no longer useful towards us, as well as the snake item.
Aha! Your wit is very prominent.
We are both children of the great.
I will take your item that is magical but not magical. You can have that which displeases me.
What is pleasing?
Now give it to me! And he holds out his hands. Let me see it.
This item is not but mine, but a group's item as well. Let me converse, please.
I suppose. And she leaps up back onto her little stage there and grabs her wine.
Thank you, great one. I would like to meet with the group in a small huddle.
Goatlings? Bay somewhere else.
Ook is gonna place her hand on Cal's shoulder.
Okay, do you individuals
Noticing he's kind of
remember?
angry.
Yes. Do you individuals remember what we had first purchased when we went to the town and the general store? Don't say it out loud, because it is a mystery to those around us.
I
I
was not
wasn't
paying
there when the
attention.
purchase was made.
A cleansing item.
It's soap, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
Well, so
I thought. Yeah, bar soap.
We've essentially tricked them to give us a magical item for a bar of soap.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking.
Top
That
lays
was soap,
there.
right? Okay.
If it
So
works.
we're convincing them it's something special that we have to part with by convening, but we're asking your permission to give them a bar of soap for the snake headdress.
I'm letting you guys know that Alrendi is very afraid of this person, and like, you should not let him know your real name or any identifying characteristics if you can help it. But when we do this trade, we need to leave immediately.
Yeah, and Roak is similarly like serious, like let's trade and go.
Ook is gonna say loudly, as she's obviously been displeased with this whole thing, but then she's like, to give away such an item of such worth? Ah, that's preposterous!
Over your shoulders, the satyr sits up. Looks.
Are you sure about this? For such an item?
Where's the shoulder wiggle?
She turns away. I cannot bear to see this.
Oh, ooh.
The
You
satyr.
know what we went through for that.
The satyr pulls out this very large pan flute and then just gives it a nice blow. Everyone make wisdom save, except for Ook.
Son of a bitch. Oh, okay. I could stick with this.
Can I have a reaction? I know I have to really do this first.
17 pass. 17 pass.
During this conversation,
20 pass.
Wait, is it like a charming spell? Aren't elves immune to that?
She has a.
Basic.
It's not a charm. 23 passes. Only Cal fails. Cal will make a roll a d4.
I immediately turn around. Well, I'll wait for Cal to react.
Okay, so you rolled a 2. What's up, Gallico? They're making a deal with the satyr and they're tricking it. With a 2, Cal, whenever you say any word that has an A or any word that has a vowel in it that is not an O, your character needs to jump as high as he can.
Does the
of course
golem
he's a
jump too?
tad. Wait, no, that's Cal. Never mind.
It's
Sorry.
Cal.
Yeah.
So anytime you say a word in a sentence that has a vowel that's not an O, so you can say no and not jump. But if you say anything that's a word, you just have to jump as high as you can.
Yeah.
All right.
So word by
Cal
word. So
has
just
been silent ever since his first word since entering this thing.
Immediately when I hear the pan flute and succeed, I would like to turn around and point my finger at her, saying, Delio!
oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting bored.
We had an amicable deal, and if you get bored, you can go back to the trance.
Apologies, child of the architect. I just want to know what this is. This magical item of yours that isn't magical. That gets wet. When you apply water, that doesn't get wet. Now I'm confused.
It gets wet when you apply water, but does not disappear when it is dry. Only it is used and activates when it is wet, but otherwise it is sane. However, I will not make deals with children of the architect who do not keep their self in check.
I suppose. And he leans back and she throws her feet up again on the rock. I grow impatient.
Thank you.
If the dwarf over the fire burns before I can eat its flesh, I will be very perturbed.
We have come to a decision. My group has decided to allow me to offer you the necessary item. And who shall receive our payment? And she'll look towards the group.
Goatling, step away from what is mine.
Are you worried about them stealing it?
You can't trust a goatling.
Never.
She hops down. She rushes up to you. She uses her back leg and she kicks the gate, and as she does, it slowly opens. She reaches in, she grabs the headdress, the snake headdress. She pulls it up. She holds out her left hand and holds the headdress up with her right hand.
I would like one of my group members to also grab the dwarf body, because that was part of the deal.
Make the golem do it.
I
Golem
would like
will
to
take.
say halvesies on the dwarf.
We'll take the upper halvesies.
Yeah, but it's fine. She leans over. She pulls out this large falchion. She goes into the cage and just... She cuts the dwarf in half. She reaches over and she pulls out the bottom half of the dwarf and she tosses it to the side by the fire.
It is so gross.
Then she drags out the upper
Upper
half.
halvesies, the identifying halvesies. We needed that halvesies.
It's gross.
She throws the upper half of the dwarf torso at you. She holds out her hand. And she holds out the headdress again. Don't we have a deal?
Good deal. And Roak would take the headdress.
And Ren would go into her bag and pull out the soap bar and put it into her palm. Say, deal.
What is this?
And we leave. Thank you.
As you leave, she's smelling it and she's wiping it on her fur.
Don't forget to drip it in water.
Drip it in water, of course! As you guys scurry out, you can hear her splash it in water.
Go, 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 go!
I can't believe that happened.
That was great.
That was
I was
masterful
hoping it was-
diplomacy. So let me see what you guys got.
Half of a body. I don't know if we should let Roak haggle for this anymore.
That was so cool!
I got us a sick headdress!
So this
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You literally grabbed the headdress and that was it.
so Gaka, that dwarf was dead and they were dealing with the satyr and she traded a bar of soap for a magic item.
My soul.
So this is the headdress of the serpent. If you look into the items tab right now, you'll be able to see the headdress of the serpent and see what it does. Can I bring it up? I think I can do it this way. So this item, this gold and emerald green headdress channels old and twisted serpentine magic to your bidding. It takes a attunement slot. If you take poison damage while wearing this headdress, the damage is reduced by your constitution modifier, whatever your plus is. While you're wearing the headdress, ordinary snakes and snakes with a challenge rating of 1/4 or lower don't care about you, and they won't attack you unless you harm them. And you can cast Animal Messenger and speak to snakes. A la Harry
Wow.
Potter.
Who took poison damage last besides the acid damage?
Well, as a defensive item, that might be good for any tank, but as a utility communication item, that's good for a scout. So it's really up to our party to decide who gets what. I guess Ook got those gloves to catch arrows, but we could also just stack her with shit to make her super tanky, since she got eaten last time.
Who has the biggest con modifier?
I have +2.
I have +3.
I got +3.
I mean, it may help us a lot when we deal with the Satyr, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it might be best for. a
So
tank to have
just
it.
hold on to it for now, just because. I
Well-
mean, the stats, yeah, but
Well, you could just throw it on.
Just put it on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better for somebody to be attuned to it right away, just in case. you
Leave
get
it on
bumped.
Roach or Ook.
Who's ever's gonna be in the front? I think.
you should give it to Roach because he does a lot of scouting and stuff. So if
He
does
does.
see a cave full of snakes.
And poison damage is pretty maybe often with traps.
Traps and shit,
Traps. Yeah.
yeah. Roach, it's yours.
So you get a bug guy wearing a snake helmet. It's gonna
Yeah,
look real weird. But whatever, it's fine.
That's how it goes.
Alright, so Roach is in your equipment right now. You just have to, when you want to equip it, just equip it, attune to it, and it'll be ready.
Alright.
So-
I'll just do it right away.
You go into details, equip, attune.
You guys, we got 2 awesome items in a single night. That's pretty good.
I'm sorry
up
that took
there.
so long.
It's hard to
Yeah,
deal with the
Oh,
satyr.
okay.
It was pretty entertaining.
Well, as soon as we saw a fucking Fae, I knew it was gonna turn into that.
I'm really happy we didn't fight it. I thought we were gonna fight it, and as soon as we encountered it, Sable was like, "Oh my god, we can't kill it."
Smart man.
I'm just glad it wasn't gypsies.
Let's
Fine.
continue along the trail.
Don't give them ideas. All right?
Fucking Peaky Blinders.
Oh, gypsies.
I love Peaky Blinders.
It's so good. I love that show.
So you guys make your way out of the cave, out of the hillside. I'll jump you ahead just a bit because I know we're getting late, and I'll show you what you're going to see to start the next game. So as you follow the trail for a little bit longer, it'll take you about another 3 hours or so. As you do, you see these sticking out of the golden wheat plains here. Temple walls kind of emerge halfway built into the ground. Temple looks to be half buried, and you see a horse stands tied up to a nearby rock, and as you guys walk up, he quietly just kind of stares at you. Humanoid footprints lead from the horse into the front doors of these temple doors here, about 12 feet high, double wooden doors. And you see the same footprints that came from where you were are also lead into the temple. And the doors look like that. So
Does
you,
the temple seem like it's well lit on the outside, or is it just dark?
the temple's well lit. That's just kind of how the lighting is. So you guys, when you come up to it, it's like a temple built into the ground here that maybe was there, just kind of fell into it, and the ground came up around it, or it was purposely built into it. But you're in front of these 12-foot wooden doors. You can see the horse tied up outside, and you see the footprints from the horse go into the temple, and then the footprints you've been following also go into the temple. Now the horse isn't just a mere riding horse. This looks to be like a very expensive war horse.
Like a captain's warhorse?
Exactly.
Yep.
I think it's a good place to end for tonight. So you fought the giant man-eating plant that was eating the gnolls. Got the missile snaring gloves. Who decapitated the gnoll that she had prisoner.
Nobody knows that she did that,
nobody
right?
knows she did that.
No.
You put the Imperial Dragoon to rest. You found out that the same people, the same cultists that were petrifying their members to become more like those strange Medusa-like snake creatures, have for some reason walked very quickly, leaving their dinner behind to go into this temple. And you outsmarted a powerful satyr. So everyone, thanks for watching Ulkadian Odyssey. This game will be back Saturday, a week from now at 8 o'clock Eastern. Next stream for me is on Monday at 7 p.m. A couple players are gone from the Rise of Harlock game this week, but we usually play Rise of Harlock. So instead, we're going to do a little bit of probably community stuff. Maybe a little bit of Fall Guys or some Jackbox. Play something for the community. So if you want to play with us, be here Monday at 7 o'clock in the Discord. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate all the bits and the follows and the subs.
Was fun like usual.
You guys have a good Saturday. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Night.
Bye.
So, are we leveling up to 3?
Hmm? Yeah? Fuck yes.
Yeah, you guys 11 to 3.
Shit, yeah.
I'll
Now I
say
can
this
actually be
much.
a dragon.
Times.
While Cal was walking from that cave, his eyes were starting to glow and his feathers were just falling around him.
You were getting magically triggered.
Yeah.